Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We're giving English reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking audiences around the globe can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Tonight, we're going to be calling Game 2 of the series between the Hanshin Tigers and the Saitama Seibu Lions. Last night, it was a 1-0 victory for the Lions as they were able to knock off the Tigers in their home stadium in Osaka at the Koshin Stadium. And so 1-0 was the final score of that one. This will be Game 2 tonight. And so we'll give you the starting lineups, first of all, from the visitors from Saitama. Leading off and playing in right field, wearing number 35, is Gakuto Wakibayashi. Batting second and playing second base, wearing number 5, is Shuta Tonosaki. Batting third in center field, wearing number 53, is Ito. In the cleanup spot, playing first base, wearing number 37, is Hataka Yamakawa. Batting fifth and playing third base, wearing number 39, is Nin Ting Wu. Batting sixth in left field, wearing number 30, is Brian O'Grady. Batting seventh and playing and doing the catching is number 22, Yuto Koga. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, wearing number 62, is Netsuo Takezawa. And batting ninth and doing the pitching, wearing number 44, is Kaito Yoza. And they are going to be facing Junya Nishi, who is taking to the hill tonight. He is 2-1 on the season. He's worked 27 innings. He's allowed 23 hits, 9 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 23. And he has an ERA of 3.00. And now the starting lineup for the home team for the Hanshin Tigers. Leading off in right field, wearing number 53, is Kairi Shimada. Batting second and playing shortstop, wearing number 51, is Takumo Nakano. Batting third in center field, wearing number 5, is Koji Chikamoto. Batting fourth and third base, wearing number 8, is Teruyuki Sato. Batting fifth and playing first base, wearing number 3, is Yosuke Oyama. Batting sixth and playing second is number 33, Kento Itohara. Batting seventh in left field, wearing number 7, is Yoshi Itoi. Batting eighth and doing the pitching is number 15, Junya Nishi. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 12, Sashiro Sakamoto. And they are going to be facing Kaito Yoza, who is 3-1 on the season. He's worked 27 2/3 innings. He's allowed 22 hits, 6 runs, 5 of which have been earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 17. He's got an ERA of 1.63. So those are your starting lineups, and we're about to get this one underway as we are approaching now the top of the first inning with the Saitama Seibu Lions coming to bat first. So it'll be Wakabayashi, Tonosaki, and Ito to get things going here. And it is going to be Junya Nishi who is taking to the hill. He's just about completed his warm-up tosses, and we'll get this one underway. We appreciate everybody for being here tonight. We got a little extra rest in today, so hopefully we'll be able to give you some lively calls between here and the end of the ball game. But Nishi has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one underway. It was a warm day with a little bit of wind yesterday in Osaka, and the temperatures are similar today. There is no rain supposedly in the forecast, although there is a lot of cloud in the area. But we thank everybody for being here, and we look forward to having you. We've got Shotgun Shell in the house. He says, who's going to win tonight? It's a little late for our friend Shotgun Shell too, but we're glad to have you here. And here comes the first pitch from Junya Nishi. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Wakibayashi. I would say tonight, last night I had the Tigers to win. It was a 1-0 ball game. I've got the Tigers to win again tonight with the other Nishi on the hill. It was a well-played game last night in that 1-0 victory for the Lions. And there was a fastball swung on, another one fouled away over on the third base side, and the count is now 0-2. Mr. Cap says he's in the house. He says he took a nap, so now he's up and he's ready for some action as well. So glad to have you with us. It is a good night for baseball. It's always a good day for baseball, especially on Last Raps Baseball's YouTube channel. So here's the 0-2 pitch from Junya Nishi. It's a fastball taken on the outside corner for a called third strike. And Wakabayashi goes down looking for out number one to start the ball game. So one up and one away, and that'll bring up Shuta Tanasaki. For Tanasaki on the season, he's batting .222. He's got a homer and 12 runs batted in. He moved up in the batting order from last night. We've seen Tanasaki play a little bit this year. He's had his challenges both at the plate and in the field when we've called games. So here comes the offering. It is a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. The latest information that we're hearing is there could be a signing by the Chibalote Marines. The Chibalote Marines may be signing former Toronto Blue Jay closer Roberto Osuna. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away by Tanasaki, and the count is 0-2. He's got a lot in the tank, in my opinion. He's still a young guy. I believe he's only 28 years old. Of course, he had the domestic violence issue in Toronto and had some issues down in Houston a little bit off of the field. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains 0-2. But he would be a boon for the Chibalote Marines. Hopefully he gets his life settled back around. So no balls and 2 strikes to Tanasaki. Nishi rocks into the motion. He goes from the windup and kicks and delivers. And there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to short. It is fielded by Nakano. He throws to first. And Tanasaki is retired on a ground out 6-3 for out number 2. Just like that, 2 up and 2 away here for the Lions in their half of the first inning. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Ito. For Ito on the season, he's batting .234. He's got a couple of homers and 7 RBIs. We've got Sauce Up Game in the house. He is joining us on Twitch. We welcome you. Thanks for stopping by. A number of the regulars have shown up already tonight. We appreciate you guys for being here. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Ito that misses down and the way, and the count is 1-0. Ito was in the lineup last night. However, he was batted a little bit down in the batting order. He's getting the spot in the 3 spot tonight. There was a fastball that is a check swing and fouled away. That's going to run the count to 1-1. Our friend Sauce Up Game says Jonathan Scope has officially woke up out of his hibernation. He's a Detroit Tiger fan, and it is true. Maybe the call-up of Cody Clemens gave him the wake-up call to do so. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 2-1. I did get a chance to see Cody Clemens' first at bat. Of course, the son of former Major Leaguer Roger Clemens. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded up the middle. It's past the glove of the shortstop Nakano, and it is going to be a 2-out single for Ito here in the first inning. And he is aboard with a 2 away, and that's going to bring up Otaka Yamakawa. Well, Yamakawa last night was the only offense the Lions needed. He had his 17th homer of the year. It was a no-doubter to a left center field. And he steps up here with the runner on first and 2 away. Yamakawa is off to a fantastic start, hitting .338 with 17 homers and 37 runs batted in. Junya Nishi holds at the chest, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yamakawa. The big fella here, not surprisingly, doesn't have any stolen bases. It kind of reminds me, he has a little bit heftier build than Ji-Man Choi, the Korean who is playing for the Tampa Bay Rays. So if you know what Choi looks like, put that in your mindset and then add another 20 pounds on Yamakawa as he takes a breaking ball down and away, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Yamakawa. The wind is not as blustery as it was last night. It is blowing in, but more from right center field in. And there's a split finger pitch that is swung on and missed, and the count now is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yamakawa. Last night they had just over 30,000 fans at the Cochin Stadium. I don't know what today's attendance is, but it sure doesn't look like it's as busy as yesterday, as there's a split finger pitch that misses outside. The count is 2-2, but possibly maybe a late arriving crowd in Osaka for this one. If you ever get a chance to go to Japan, the Cochin Stadium is something that you would want to experience. Our friend Sauce Game says, I saw a deer on my way to the gym on the side of the road and it scared him. Well, was it moving or was it laying on the ground? It all depends on how that is. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Yamakawa on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here in the top of the 1st. So for the Seibu Seibu Lions, there was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are through a half inning. It is the Seibu Seibu Lions, nothing. The Hanshin Tigers coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the bottom of the 1st inning. After this, from our friend, Steve Rademacher. Take it away, Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We are cruising to the bottom of the 1st inning. It's going to be the top of the order coming up for the Tigers. Shimada, Nakano, and Chikamoto will be here to get things going. The pitcher for the Saitama Seibu Lions is Kaito Yoza. This is my first time I've seen Yoza. And as he is warming up, he is a sidewinder. And he is going to be taking to the hill tonight. And that's something that you don't see in Major League Baseball from starting pitchers. You see relievers come in and throwing underneath or submariners or side armors, but you very rarely, in fact, at the Major League level, I can't name you the last time I've seen a side armor or a submariner come in to pitch. So this is going to be interesting, and it'll be neat to see how the interleague team will handle it. So Shimada steps into the plate. He's batting .211. He's got no homers and 2 RBIs. Right-hander against the left-hander. Yoza goes to the motion. He delivers a fastball. Take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Shimada. Yoza ready to go back to work, and there is a fastball swung on it. It is grounded up the middle. Yoza sticks his foot out, but he couldn't stop it. He was trying to do a soccer-style save on that. That is going to be a base hit here for Shimada, and he is aboard with the first hit for the Tigers in the evening. So he'll be the runner at first. And no way, and that brings up Takumu Nakano. They were also showing, it's also a little different to see how the pitches are going to move. I'm not sure if he gripped it as a split finger pitch or he gripped it as a 2-seamer. So I'm not 100% sure what that was. And you can see just the way that it moves, it's a little bit different. So we'll have to get used to some of the pitches that he throws. Here's the first pitch delivered to Nakano, and it's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. For Nakano, he's batting .279 on the season. He's got 3 homers and 11 RBIs. He does have 13 stolen bases. Usually he's batting second and Chikamoto is in the top spot, but they've moved Chikamoto down to the 3 spot in the lineup today. They throw over to first base and diving back in time as the base runner Shimada. Our friend Shotgun Shell says, rough day, 1-4 on his bets this morning, and he got a crown on his tooth and MRI on his back. I've had an MRI before, but I've also had a CT scan. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. Some people really have challenges with the MRIs or the CT scans, especially when they put you on the, I guess, how would I say it? They would put you on the table and then they would slide you into the machine and they move you in and out. And they do that. Some people are really, really, I guess, claustrophobic when it comes to having a CT scan. So 1-1 strike it is to Nakano, and here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Shimada is going to go all the way around to third, and it's a single here for Nakano, and the Tigers have something brewing here in the bottom of the first inning with runners on the corners, nobody out, and Koji Chikamoto coming to the plate. Our friend Mr. Camp says his days with the bets was rough too. Yeah, you know what they say, things come in threes. So maybe Shotgun Shell had the bets, the MRI, the crowd, all the rest of that stuff. He got his dose in a full piece. So Chikamoto steps up to the plate. He's batting .266. He's got no homers and 7 RBIs. The speedy center fielder moved down in the order. As we said, normally we see him in the leadoff spot. So this is the start that the Tigers wanted. They probably could have used last night too. Get to the Lions pitching early. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball. It's taken. Here's the throw down to second as Nakano is running. And that is going to be, he's going to get in there safely. That is a stolen base for Nakano. It's going to be runners on second and third with nobody out. So Chikamoto has got a chance to drive some runs in here early in the first inning. If anything, I'd keep my eye on Chikamoto for dropping a bunt down. They have the corners in, sort of. Actually, the third baseman's even with the bag. Everybody else is in normal depth right now. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 1-1. And as I said, if I was Chikamoto, why not drag one down the first baseline? Almost like a safety squeeze with the base runners on base. They both move really well, especially Nakano. It was his 14th stolen base of the season. Well, now they've got the defense with the corners even with the bags. The middles are keeping the runner close at second, and there is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. It is fielded neatly by the shortstop Takizawa. He throws to first, and Chikamoto is retired. It's going to score the runner from third, but Nakano has to hold at second. So Chikamoto is going to get himself an RBI as Shimada has crossed the plate. And Nakano is going to hold at second base with one away now. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Teruki Sato. So Sato on the season is batting .276. He's got 12 homers and 29 runs batted in. The big, powerful, left-handed hitting third baseman digs in. If you haven't seen Sato, and a lot of teams maybe haven't, but if I'm Major League Baseball, I've got this guy's name circled. And here's the first pitch from Yoza, and it is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Left-handed hitting third baseman with some juice. He also plays in the outfield. We've seen him in right field as well. So here comes the 0-1 offering to Sato. Last night we had the battle of Satos, the pitcher for the Lions versus the Sato, the hitter for the Tigers, and he takes a fastball off the outside corner, and the count's 1-1. So 1-1 strike. Be curious to see what type of movement there will be in the NPB here with the import players over the next month or so. I also have the understanding that there's going to be some visa relaxation in Japan, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-1. But also, travel restrictions are going to be brought down in about a month or so. Right now, as of now, you still can't travel to Japan for holiday, but I hear that is about to change. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Sato. And here's the offering from Yoza. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, it's hard to tell really what that pitch was. It sure wasn't a 4-seam fastball, but the grip and where he'd come in on it was almost like a slip change. But it's hard to tell the difference between the fastball and the changeup for the pitcher Yoza. He doesn't particularly throw overpowering. The only speed right now that I think I've maxed out at is about 135 kilometers an hour. And here's a pitch that is a sinker that misses down, and that runs the count to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes on Sato. Some late night baseball in North America. If that's what you're looking for, you've landed in the right place. We are going to be back again tomorrow night with the same 2 teams. The Tigers and the Lions are going to go at it again in the 3rd game of the series. There's a fastball swung on, and this is fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2. Probably going to look to do another. We're going to change up our series on the weekend. I haven't quite looked at the schedule yet. We will call games. We will try to post that early as we can. So it gives everybody an idea of what we're going to be doing. We're definitely going to be doing the Friday game and the Saturday game. And by all accounts, we'll probably do the Sunday game as well. But the question is the matchups. And one of the things I'd like to do is some of that stuff. Our Shotgun Shell says he's looking for cheerleaders in between innings. Well, I hate to disappoint you tonight. You're not going to get that tonight, but I am working on it. I've got that underway. I have probably going to take me probably another hour or so to get that done. Just have to find the time to do it. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2 to Sato. So the homework has been done. As I mentioned, there's 8 teams. 8 of the 12 teams in the NPB have cheerleaders. I'm pretty sure it's still at 8. I don't think there was an additional one that came in this year. So that'll be some entertainment in between the innings. At least, if anything, it'll keep our audience entertained. So here comes the 3-2 pitch to Sato. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Don't know what Sato was looking for. That pitch was in the middle of the plate. It sawed it right in half. In fact, it was a mistake pitch because the catcher had set up outside and had run right across the middle of the plate, and Sato stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 2, and he is retired. That's going to bring up Yusuke Oyama. For Oyama on the season, he's batting .226. He's got 8 homers and 27 RBIs. We've rather enjoyed watching Oyama play in the games that we've called of the Tigers. And the pitcher, Yoza, does the spaghetti move, the inside move to chase the runner back to second. So here comes the first pitch to Oyama. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the right field line. But it's going to reach the seats, and the count is 0-1. It's a neat configuration of the park at the Koshin. I think what I'd also like to try to do with Shotgun Shell was looking for cheerleaders between innings. Also like to do something where we've got the stadiums between innings so you guys can get a visual of some of the stuff. I've only been to two of the stadiums, the Jinju and the Egg in the Tokyo Dome. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-1 to Oyama. Both of the stadiums are unique in their own way. The Tokyo Dome, as far as I'm concerned, it's just another, in a lot of ways, it's just another dome. Doesn't really have anything that I would say that's anything particularly special from the outside or the inside. But the uniqueness of some of the other stadiums, it's kind of cool to see. There was a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 2-1. Well, maybe if I won the Powerball or something like that, maybe we all go on a journey together. We could do a tour of all the stadiums. I mentioned that we get there, the 350 million or whatever it is. It'll be the friends and family discount of Last Raps Baseball. And there's a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 3-1 on Oyama. So 3 balls and 1 strike. The runner at second is Nakano. There is 2 gone here in the bottom half of the first inning. The Tigers are already got 1 run on the board. There's a fastball that swung on, and it is grounded softly over to first. But it is going to roll into the first base coach's box where it's going to be touched by the first baseman, Yamakawa, and it's going to run the count now to 3-2. Shotgun Shell likes the idea of that. We'll have our own section, just like where in Japan they've got the band. The band will be playing, especially in some of the stadiums. They got the bands, they got the music. Right during the middle of the game, they got a full-on orchestra playing. We'll have our own section with the orchestra pounding out the music. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a fastball, and it's swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 3-2. Mr. Cap says, is it still 1-0? It is. On that ground out by Chikamoto, they were able to cash the leadoff runner, or the leadoff batter, Shimada. But Nakano is still at second base. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yoza gets the assign from his catcher, Koga. He checks the runner at second. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Yoza has struck out Oyama to end the inning. That is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the first. But they had something going. They had 1 run on 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 1 complete inning. It is the Hanshin Tigers 1, the Seibu Seibu Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the top of the second inning. Hey, we're glad you guys are with us tonight. Here's our friend Dave. Hey, be sure to get over to Dave's channel. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you, and he'd be happy to send you a free mystery pack of cards.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Fox Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Just a reminder, here's last month's winners for April, and we'll get this one off the air after tonight. But this was the April winners from Dave.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for checking out Last Raps. We had some winners in last month's mystery pack giveaway. The names right here, and maybe here are the winners. Make sure you are following the instructions on our other video to qualify this month for a pack of mystery cards from Zero Fox Sports Cards. Thanks for checking it out. Enjoy the ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're in the top of the second inning. It's going to be Nin Ting Wu, Brian O'Grady, and Yuta Koga to face the right-hander Jinya Nishi, and there's the fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. For Nin-Ting Wu, he is batting .270 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 14 RBIs. He takes a fastball upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. Last night, Wu was in the leadoff spot for the Lions, something we've not seen him in traditionally. He runs okay. He's not necessarily what you would think of as a true leadoff hitter, and there he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count's 2-1. Just wanted to mention, if you guys have a chance, one of the winners from last month was a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly over to first. It's fielded by Oyama. He steps on the bag, and that is going to retire Wu for out number 1. It's a ground out to first base. So 1 up and 1 away. And that's going to bring up Brian O'Grady. One of our listeners, we want to send a shout out to Big Ray and let him know that we are thinking about him. He has had some health challenges over the last few years. And just to let you know that you are in our thoughts, and we hope that everything is going to work out okay for you. So keeping him in mind, and everybody else, keep him in your prayers too. There's a fastball that is delivered to Brian O'Grady. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Nishi ready to go back to work, facing the left-handed hitting O'Grady. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. Shotgun Shell says, Bulldog always pressing his bet. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And Junya Nishi kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul down the right field line. The count is now 1-2. Junya Nishi on the hill today. It was Yuki Nishi last night who gave a quality start for the Hanshin Tigers. The 2 Nishis are related. They're third cousins to one another. They didn't actually meet each other until they became teammates when Yuki Nishi came over as a free agent or off-season free agent from the crosstown Oryx Buffaloes. There was a fastball that was down in the dirt. The count goes to 2-2 to O'Grady. So 2 Nishis on 1 staff leading the way for the Tigers. The Tigers were as good a team in the NPB last year for the first 50 games as there had been in a long time. And there was a fastball swung on and missed. And O'Grady is retired for out number 2 here in the second inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Yuto Koga. So Yuto Koga, he's batting .130 on the season. He's got nothing across the slash line. Tomoya Mori was the catcher last night who had just recently returned to the lineup. He had missed quite a bit of time as the reports were he either punched the wall or punched his helmet in frustration after one of the games early in the season. There's a fastball taken by Koga for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. And there is a fastball swung on. This ball is taken on 1 hop by the shortstop Nakano. He fires to first, and Koga is retired on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 3. So for the Lions in their half of the second inning, they go quietly. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1.5. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions trailing the Hanshin Tigers 1-0. Stick around. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the second inning in just a moment, and we'll update our ticker properly for you all. Glad you guys are here with us. Hang tight. Here is the Did You Know About Yuki Nishi, the pitcher last night? Check it out. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the second inning, and it is going to be Kento Itohara, Yoshio Itoi, and Junya Nishi coming to bat for the Tigers in their half of the second inning. That means it's the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the lineup. The lineup has got Nishi in the 8 spot tonight. The Hanshin manager has chosen to put the pitcher in that spot. He is batting .300 on the year. And it drops the catcher, who's hitting $177 down to the 9 spot. So keep an eye on that and see how Nishi is able to swing it. Mr. Cap asked the question, how is the bullpen for these two teams? Well, the Seibu Lions, I do like the back end of their bullpen, but I'd be curious to know how that would go. They used their better pitchers last night to close the game out. There was a first pitch fastball delivered from Yoza, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So usually what will happen is a lot of coaches, they don't necessarily mind using them 2 days in a row. And there was a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. It's going to drop in. It's fair. Digging around around first is Itohara, but he's going to slam on the brakes. He's not going to cruise into second. He's going to head back to first. He's got himself a leadoff single here in the second inning, and that's going to bring up Yoshio Itoi. So just back to Mr. Cap's question about how's the bullpens for these two teams. As far as I'm concerned, the Lions on their day have the bullpens. So I was saying about the situation with the leads and how managers would do it. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same group of pitchers come back in again to close this game out tonight that pitched last night. But sometimes they rarely will ever throw their arms 3 days in a row out of the bullpens. So I think they could be fresh and be available tonight if they were winning. And those 3 arms that they used last night that I was thinking about was I believe it's Mizukawi off the top of my head, Taira, and Masuda, who closed it out. I have to check the pronunciation of the first fellow that I mentioned, as there's a fastball swung on and grounded foul. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike now to Itoi. So that's my thoughts. As far as the Tigers are concerned, they've struggled this year and they haven't really had positions for their team to close it out. And I gotta like to see how they're going to be sorting some of this stuff out. We got Troy in the house tonight. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Moving over on it is the center fielder who drifts over to his left, and that's Ito. He makes the catch. Is going to retire Itoi for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up Junya Nishi. So Troy check it in. It was a good day and a bad day for Tiger fans out there, and I'm not talking about the Hanshin Tigers. The Detroit Tigers lost the first game of a doubleheader and then came back and won the second game of 1, and I know Troy is a big Detroit Tiger fan. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Itoi ended up in a fly ball out to center field, and that's bringing up Junya Nishi to the plate. Nishi's already squaring the bunt here with 1 out and the runner on first. He pulls back, and he hits the ball into deep left field. Moving over on it, and now coming in on it is O'Grady, and he makes the catch. So Nishi fooling no one as he pulls back as he's squaring the bunt. And he hits that ball to left field, and that is out number 2 as Brian O'Grady makes the catch. That's something you don't necessarily see so much at the big league level. We used to refer to that as a buggy whip, where a guy would, or even a slash, where a guy would square around and then pull back and hit it. But Nishi certainly didn't slash the ball because you do want to try to keep that on the ground. So that brings up Sashiro Sakamoto, the catcher. He's batting .177 on the season with no homers and 1 RBI. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So in some ways, this is going to be a wasted leadoff hit by Itohara. And so here comes the 0-1 offering to Sakamoto. Pitch is delivered. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul. It's going to reach the seats well beyond the third base dugout and well up into the stands. Sakamoto is the captain of the Tigers. He wears the C on the jersey. You do see that sometimes in Japanese baseball. They have the C's on the players' jerseys who are the captains. Certainly when you're watching some of the games, you'll see that certain players will don that. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. Moving over to his left is O'Grady, but he's going to make the catch. That ball ended up in a bit of a no man's land, and that is going to do it for Sakamoto for the third out of the inning. So for the Tigers, and their half of this moment. We're glad you are all with us. Here is another Hall of Fame memory. Welcome back, everybody. It is a beautiful evening in Osaka, and we are checking out the weather there. Right now, it is 75 degrees and sunshine. The lights have not taken effect yet. And it is right now, it'll end up going down probably by about 71 degrees. Perfect conditions for baseball. The wind is light tonight. It's 6 miles an hour out of the southwest. And as we said, it's blowing from right center in. Nothing too much. The flags are hardly even moving. So this is going to bring up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the order. This is Takezawa, who steps up first, and he takes a ball from Junya Nishi. So it's 1-0. Then it'll be the pitcher, Yoza, and then the top of the order, Wakabayashi. There's the 1-0 offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. That is going to run the count to 1-1. For Takezawa, he's hitting .245 on the season. He's got no homers and 3 RBIs. Our friend Mr. Cap says, we lost you, but maybe it was his internet. Yeah, I didn't see anything on our end. Ours has been pretty good the last few nights. There was a breaking ball swung on. It is fouled off. It hits the home plate umpire as it got down and got by the catcher. So that's going to run the count to 1-2. Shotgun Shell says number 12, usually 2 right. I'm not sure what that is. It was something that I may have mentioned, but I can't remember at this point. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here is the pitch from Junya Nishi. It is a split finger pitch that swung on and fouled away at home plate. The count remains at 1-2. It was a good job by the batter Takezawa to get a piece of that one. As he fouled it off, it went right into the catcher. He says number 12 is usually the captain of the team. That's a good question. Number 12 tonight is Sakamoto. I don't think so, because Shogo Nakamura wears the C for one of the teams, and he is, I believe, number 3 or number 8, something along those lines. As there was a fastball that misses down, the count's 2-2. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the left field line, but it just goes foul. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. It's number 18 for the ace of the pitching staff, So those like Yoshinobu Yamamoto of the Oryx Buffaloes, he sports number 18. I believe Makun Masahiro Tanaka also is donning 18 these days. So when you wear 18, that is considered the ace of the staff. So here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses inside. Nishi's wondering exactly what is up with that. That last pitch looked pretty darn good, but I can understand why the umpire didn't give the call. He missed his spot. The catcher was lined up on the outer half of the plate. And there is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. And Sato, who gets over there to field the ball, slips. But it was in foul territory where he fielded it, so that's going to keep the count at 3-2, and we're going to do this all over again. Shotgun Shell says, 18. 18 is the number for the ace of the staff. So here comes the 3-2 pitch from Nishi. He rocks into the motion. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side, and this at-bat is going to continue. This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. You got to tip your hat to Takezawa. He is really battling Nishi here. So here comes the 3-2 offering, and it is a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. The ball is picked up by the catcher Sakamoto, and he applies the tag to Takezawa, and he's going to be gone for out number 1. That's going to bring up Kaito Yoza. For Yoza, he is on the season. He's officially 0 for 2. The Pacific League pitchers don't bat as they have a DH in the league, but because they're playing in a Central League stadium, they are getting their at-bats. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Last night it was Yuki Nishi, who hardly looked like he wanted to swing the bat. And there was a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count's now 0-2. He literally was stepping backwards on each pitch. Looked like he was wanting to moonwalk out of the batter's box. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. It moves batter Yoza off the plate, and the count is 1-2. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's the one you want to get drilled by. Only floated up at about 63 miles an hour. Here's the 1-2 offering. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and now the count's 2-2. So Yoza takes a deep breath, and now he's ready to go back in. Well, he does not look very comfortable. He's got body armor on the left arm. He's got the rubber thing on his thumb. And here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it looks like he's a little jittery. There's a fastball, but he swings at it and fouls it away. And the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yoza. The top of the order, Wakabayashi is waiting his turn on deck. If Yoza can find a way to get on and roll it over, there's a fastball swung on, is grounded softly to first. Oyama fields it. He flips it over to Nishi covering, and that's going to go down as a ground out. 3-1 for out number 2 here in the inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Gekudo Wakabayashi. For Wakabayashi on the evening, he is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up to lead off the ball game. He is 2 for 5 on the early season. He's batting .400. He had himself a pretty decent campaign last year. He's found himself inserted back into the lineup. And here's the first offering from Nishi. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. He does have some wheels. He did steal 20 bases last year. He can move and cover a lot of ground. He's getting the nod in right field tonight. And here's the 0-1 pitch. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul on the just past the third base coach's box, and the count is 0-2. Vivid Life is in the house. He says he got the day off, but he's heading to help his sister move. Well, we hope you can join us for a little bit anyways, and if not, then we look forward to having you when you come back, maybe on the weekend there, Vivid Life. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away. And the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wakabayashi. Nishi rocks into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this is tap foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. The Seibu Seibu Lions tonight are wearing those navy blue tops with the white and the light blue trim. They've got themselves what I would say one of the nicer looking uniform tops in the league. Some of the two-tone stuff I'm not sure I'm crazy about, but it does look good on the Lions in my opinion. They have the white pants with the blue piping down the side. Of course, the Hanshin Tigers in their traditional white uniform with the pinstripe and the gold and black. So here's the pitch from Nishi. It is a split figure pitch. It's swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. And that keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vivid Life says he took the Tigers, of course, again tonight. And Shotgun Shell says it's the Lions for him. And if I was picking tonight, I would have taken the Tigers. And there was a fastball that swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Wakabayashi the second time tonight via the strikeout. So for the Lions in their half of the third inning, they go quietly. There were no runs, no hits, no errors. No runners left the board. We are now through 2.5. It is the Hanshin Tigers 1. The Seibu Seibu Lions, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. Here's our friend Matt Hollis. Be sure to check out his channel after the game, as he supports us, and we like to support him. Here's Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
It's a beauty, Matt. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the third inning. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the third inning. It's going to be the top of the Tigers batting order coming up to face Yoza. It'll be Shimada, Nakano, and Chikamoto to get things going. For Shimada, his first time up, he singled and has scored the only run of the ball game. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Yoza. And the first pitch is a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. The Tigers got things going quickly here, as Shimada had singled and followed that up by a single from Nakano. But they couldn't cash both runs in. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted over the head of the second baseman. It's going to get down into right field. That is going to be a base hit here for Shimada. It's his second hit of the ball game. So he is quickly lifting his average up. Again, the game at 211. I believe with those 2 hits, it's going to bring him up to 250. He doesn't have a ton of at-bats. I believe this is bat number 40 for him. Or was it bat number 40? So that brings up Takumu Nakano. For Nakano tonight, he is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. And he also stole a base. The shortstop for the Tigers runs very well. Curious to see if they're going to want to play for a run here. if they're going to bunt him over or how they're going to manage this. So here comes the first offering, but instead, Yoza throws it over to first. I often wondered, when you have a sidearmer on the mound, is he more comfortable throwing sidearm to first base? I've only had a couple of sidewinders in my time, and we had one guy who actually would long toss sidearm. It's kind of crazy. There's a pitcher at Cal State Dominguez Hills. And here's the fastball. It's bunted. It's not a good one. Right in front of the plate, down to second for one, back to first, and not in time. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Shimada. 2-6. He is gone for the first out of the inning. Nakano is the runner at first base. And that'll bring up Koji Chikamoto. Vivid Life says actually over 5.5 for this one. He says 5.5 over on this. I think this one's going to be a tight scoring affair. 5.5 on the over might be a bit of a nail biter. But you never know. So here comes Koji Chikamoto. Chikamoto tonight, he grounded out his first time up and knocked the only run of the ball game in. And here's the first offering. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Chikamoto is probably, at least in my opinion anyway, is probably going to have an opportunity here to knock another run in. I can just see Nakano heading over to second base. Mr. Cap says he took the over on the 5.5. He says, I like a nail biter. Well, hopefully you got long fingernails. Shotgun Shell says, you never know is his favorite gambling saying. As Yoza throws over to first base and diving back in time is the base runner, Nakano. They should be concerned about Nakano. He stole his 14th base of the season in the first inning. He really runs well. He can get good jumps off of the pitcher. And they throw over again, and diving back to first is the base runner, Nakano. In some ways, it was good to get Shimada off the base paths, but not good because he ended up with Nakano at first. He could be as dangerous, or probably is more dangerous than Shimada. So here comes the 1-ball offering. And Yoza delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the first base dugout. The count is 1-1. Vivid Life says nail biters make it more exciting. It's half the fun when you're watching the games and doing some of the stuff. As we said, we're not really much into the betting on these games, but certainly can keep your interest when the games go a little bit sideways. So 1 ball and 1 strike, and they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Nakano. We've got 1 out here in the last half of the third inning. The pitcher, Yoza, holds at the belt. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball is going to get into center field past the glove of the second baseman. Digging hard for third is Nakano, and the throw is going to be cut off as it goes into second base. And that is going to be a single for Chikamoto. And he keeps the conga line moving as it's now runners on the corners with 1 away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Teruaki Sato. So if I'm doing it here, if I'm the Tigers, I think I'm trying to steal second base right here. I want Chikamoto running on the first pitch. And if Chikamoto can get over to second base, which I think he will, and I believe he will, puts 2 runners in scoring position. I wonder how the Lions would manage it with Sato at the plate. I know he'd struck out looking his first time, but pitching to Sato was like playing with nitroglycerin. Is it easier just to walk him to set up a force at any base? But I'm trying to think a couple of batters or a couple of situations ahead right now. So let's keep our eye on Chikamoto and see if he's off to the races. He's got 10 stolen bases this year. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball, and sure enough, Chikamoto is going down to second. The throw goes down. It's not a good one. Tails up the line. It was caught by the shortstop, but the runner at third has held. So Chikamoto's got a stolen base. And so now the question is there going to pitch to Sato, or do you want to walk him to set up the force? And if it were me, I'd walk him, but it is 0-1 on him. So maybe you want to nibble a little bit. That's looking like exactly what the Lions are going to do. Don't give him anything good to hit. See if you can induce a swing. And then maybe trying to get him for a strikeout. So here comes the 0-1 offering. And here's the pitch from Yoza. It is a fastball that misses outside. And the count is 1-1. I'm just looking at the stuff up there. They're saying walk him. Vivid is always going against the masses. I like that mentality. Sometimes that's the case, but on the other side, you also want to say, where's the money going? Sometimes that works too. And there's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to run the count now to 1-2 on Sato. I remember not so long ago when I used to chuckle a little bit, and when you're deciding whether to walk a guy or not and to pitch out, when they took that away and all you had to do was hold the 4 fingers up, took an element out of the game. I always used to say, why waste 4 pitches when you can hit a guy with the first one? Just dot him and put him on base so that you don't have to throw 3 more pitches. So here's 1 ball and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Sato, and that's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. We got the hobbyist in the house this morning. He's joining us for a little bit. Welcome, Chris. Thank you for popping in. Last night, the hobbyist popped in for a little bit. He must have thought that I was ready to have a nap. I was absolutely exhausted doing that game last night. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Sato. Holding the ball at the belt is the pitcher Yoza, and he delivers. It's a fastball. This ball is swung on. It is popped up into shallow left field. Coming in on it is O'Grady. That's not going to be deep enough to do the job. The runners are going to have to hold, and Sato is retired for out number 2. That is going to leave it up to Yosuke Oyama as he comes to the plate with 2 on and 2 out here in the 3rd inning. The Tigers really need to cash some of these runs in. First inning, they stranded a runner in scoring position, and here they've got runners in scoring position, and that's going to bring out the pitching coach to have a few words with Yoza. So I'm going to talk about this situation here, probably say what they want to do. I mean, if it was me, I probably would pitch very delicately to Oyama. He's got the ability to put the ball in the seats, whereas not that Ito Hara doesn't. He's got a couple of home runs on the season. I think I'd rather pitch to Ito Hara, period. Put the batter on and let him see what happens. And let's check that for a second there. It looks like that I have to apologize to you guys as I must be sleeping out here. It looked like that ball was caught by the left fielder, but it was actually taken on a short hop by O'Grady, and the bases are actually loaded. O'Grady, nice camera work, boys, but O'Grady had let that ball fall in front of him, and everybody just moved up a base. So we got the bases loaded. How about that for stuff? I went back and looked at the replay. Actually, we've got runners now on the corners and a run in. I gotta shut myself down here for a second. I gotta reset this for everybody. That ended up dropping in. O'Grady looked like he was going to catch the ball. Sato ends up getting a base hit single. The runner ends up scoring from second, and they got runners on the corners. Apparently, this broadcast is being brought to you tonight by Bacardi. So not necessarily at my end. So there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count's now 1-1 on Oyama. So got to sharpen up a little bit here, or else it's going to be tough doing it without the coffee on. So they did cash a run in as Nakano has crossed the plate. The runner, Chikamoto, is at third. And Sato is the runner at first base. These late night games are going to kill me eventually here. We got about 2 more weeks of it to go. So we can get ourselves back into some regular action. And there's the throw over to first base. Our friend Troy is saying, hopefully some scoring and bases loaded. The way it's going is that the guy calling the broadcast seems like he's loaded, but he's not. And that's the problem. So here comes the 1-1 to Oyama. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. And this ball is going to get into the seats. It is going to be a home run, and that is a no-doubter for Oyama. A 3-run shot has cleared the bases of Tigers, and that is 4 on the board here in the 3rd inning. So for those of you who've got that 5.5, well, the 5.5, if you've taken the over, you've almost got it here. It's a 3-run shot for Oyama. So if you've got the under, now it's nail-biting time. Because it is now 5-0 for the Tigers. Just like that, it is turned around in a big hurry. Absolutely huge. And so here comes the first pitch to the second baseman, Kento Itohara. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. And now we go back to the live action, and there's a fastball that backs Itohara off of the plate, and the count is 1-1. There's a fastball that is swung on, and this ball is belted down the left field line. That's going to reach the seats, and the count is now 1-2 to Itohara. Well, so Junya Nishi's got some work here. He's going to have a lot of runs to play with. There's the pitch from Yoza. It is a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Itohara is retired. He is gone for out number 2, and that will leave it up to Yoshio Itoi. Well, thanks for being with us here, everybody. It is 5-0 right now, as they have the 3-run homer by Oyama here that is put 3 runs on the board here for the Tigers in their half of the 3rd inning. We've got Vivid Life, who is fist pumping right now. He's put a pretty good bet in. And here comes the first offering from Yoza. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Itoi. Itoi is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew to center field his first time up. He's batting from the left side, and he swings at the fastball. It is popped up into shallow center field. Backing up is the shortstop. And that's going to be hauled in by Takizawa for out number 3. And that will do it here for the Tigers in their half of the 3rd inning. But there was a lot of damage done. There were 4 runs in the inning. The big blow was the 3-run homer by Oyama. So there was 4 runs in the inning. There was 3 hits. Check that. 4 hits. No errors and nobody left on base. We are now through 3 complete. It is the Hanshin Tigers 5. The Seibu Seibu Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. I'm going to go get myself the pot of coffee going. We got to clear the cobwebs. We'll be ready to give you the top half of the 4th inning. Here's our friend Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 4th inning. And the hobbyist is on his way to work and he's checking out. We appreciate you stopping in, Chris, and your support. We've got Vivid Life. He is looking for that extra half a run to be scored. And we've got everybody else that's kicking in here as well. We thank everybody for joining us tonight. We will be back on the air again tomorrow. Same two teams, same time. We're going to grind it out here for the next couple of weeks in the interleague play. We're going to give all the games during the week and on the weekend this weekend. We'll be updating our schedule for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games. I'm going to try to call some of the different teams that we haven't called yet, including the Bay Stars, the Swallows. There's a first pitch that is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Shuta Tonosaki. It is the 2, 3, and 4 hitters here for the Alliance. It'll be Tonosaki, Ito, and Yamakawa. And there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-1 to Tonosaki. Tonosaki tonight is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. And here comes the offering from Junya Nishi. He rocks into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch swing on and missed. And the count now goes to 1-2 on Tonosaki. Vivid Life says, I need the Lions to cash a few so I can cash those ones out. So here comes the 1-2 offering. It's a split finger pitch. It's in on dirt. It is swung on. It is stopped by the catcher Sakamoto. He throws to first for the putout. That strikeout's going to go down as a 2-3 putout for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the center fielder Ito. For Ito tonight, he is 1 for 1. He's got the only hit of the ball game for the Lions. Vivid Life says, the ticker says 15 for the Tigers. That's exactly what it is. I've got to make sure that it is only 5. It might be the Freudian slip to that. We might be possibly prognosticating something there. But it is a 5, that is for sure. So we've got 1 ball and 1 strike to Ito as we correct our ticker. Nishi rocking into the motion. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. And that is going to be a base hit as he's singled here. Ito is got himself a single. And that is going to bring up Hataka Yamakawa. I put the 15 on the board and we had people in here. I took the 15 off and a whole bunch of people left the chat. It's too bad. Maybe I should put that 15 back up again. So that brings up Hataka Yamakawa. Yamakawa tonight is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He is 0 for 1. Nishi checks the runner at first, and he comes sent at the chest. And he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. And the count is 1-0. So 1-0 to Yamakawa. Looks like the wind is picking up a little bit. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Yamakawa. Do appreciate everybody for being here, that's for sure. As we mentioned, we are going to be back again tomorrow night. Do this all over again. So 2 balls and no strikes to Yamakawa. Nishi checks the signs from his catcher Sakamoto. And here comes the 2-0 offering. It is a fastball. This is popped up. It's behind home plate. It's going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count to 2-1. Vivid Life says they thought it was a blowout, which usually gives us some of your stories. Yeah, you have to start looking at some of that stuff. I've got a few reads, actually, that I've picked up that I've been looking at and probably will end up sharing some of the stories that I find are funny out of it. And I don't know if you guys out there do any reading or any baseball reading. I don't do enough of it. Probably should spend more time in the bathroom. That's where I pick up on my reading. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Yamakawa, and there's a fastball that misses inside. The count's now 3-1. The couple of the reads that I'm going to be working on here, I've got Jim Palmer's book, came out a couple of years ago. The other one I have is the Tales from the Seattle Mariner Dugouts. We have that one as well. So here comes the 3-1 offering, and instead it's going to be a time, and stepping out is the batter Yamakawa. I can say I have started to look at some of the stories in the Seattle one. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and that is ball 4 to Yamakawa. So that is going to put runners now at first and second. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Nin-Ting Wu. And it's going to bring a trip out to the mound. As everybody has come in to have a word with the pitcher, Nishi, they're going to discuss how they're going to handle this situation. No pitching coach out, but the whole infield is out there to discuss what they're going to do. So Nin-Ting Wu steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Shotgun Shell says Andrew Dice Clay's Book of Rhymes is a good book to read. I'm sure that would keep people entertained for a lot of different reasons. So Nin-Ting Wu steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to the first baseman his first time up. The runner at second is Ito. The runner at first is Yamakawa. The Lions are trying to get some runs back here in the fourth inning. There is one away. And here comes the offering from Nishi. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. And check that. He called that a strike. It's going to be, that was a late call from the plate umpire. It's going to be 0-1. If I'm Nin-Ting Wu, I'm offended by that one. That pitch looked like it was up and away. He didn't even hit his spot. But there's the home cooking for the Hanshin Tigers. So here comes the 0-1 offering. It is a pitch. It's in the same location, but this time it's a ball, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Wu. Right-hander Nishi leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher. And now he comes set at the chest. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2. So I was starting to say about the Seattle Mariners. I'm sure that some of you guys were probably laughing and saying, oh, Seattle Mariners stories. Oh boy, this ought to be good. Well, one was when Maury Wills was hired as the manager. And Maury Wills was having some issues, having some off-field issues as the manager. Apparently, he was using illicit drugs. I think it was cocaine or something like that. He had an addiction. I'm not 100% sure what the drug use was. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded through the 4-hole into right field, and that is going to hold up the runner at third base. Ito is going to be held up. Yamakawa is going to advance to second, and Nin-Ting Wu has a single to load the bases. And that's going to bring up the left fielder, Brian O'Grady. So back to Maury Wills for a second. So Wills makes a trip out to the mound and decides he wants the right-hander. So he makes the call for the right-hander, but the problem is nobody's warming up in the bullpen. So he had to make a pitching change and bring somebody in who hadn't thrown a pitch. You can only imagine. So that was when the Mariners were pretty bad. They were not a very good team. And they brought Maury in because they thought, well, he could show them how to run the bases and make them somewhat exciting. Well, that definitely made them exciting. Go out to the pitcher's mound and call for a right-hander, but nobody's up in the pen throwing pitches. So bases are now loaded full of Lions. There's one away, and that brings up Brian O'Grady to the plate. O'Grady is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Mr. Cap says, imagine being the pitcher. Yeah, imagine being the guy that has to come in and basically get 8 warm-up pitches on the mound and let's go. So here's the first offering to O'Grady. It's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. Yeah, there were some pretty crazy things in Seattle back in the day. Of course, when they played at that old Metrodome, they were not a very good team for the most of the time that they were there. I was not out in this area when or not the Metrodome, the Kingdome, I guess is what they called it. There's a split finger pitch in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to O'Grady. Yeah, they've had some pretty tragic ball clubs in the Pacific Northwest, and you kind of don't really understand why until you kind of move out here. And they have had some good ball clubs. You think of the years with Alex Rodriguez and Griffey Jr., and as a fastball swung on, this has popped up in the infield. Coming over underneath it is the first baseman, Oyama, and he makes the catch. The infield fly rule was in effect. And O'Grady has popped out for the second out of the inning. So for the Lions, you're going to hate to see this. They're going to squander the opportunity. So what do we have here? Well, what we have here is we already, in the 4th inning, we already have a pinch hitter coming in. It is the end of the day for Koga. This is going to be Tomoya Mori. So your night is, you thought you were getting the night off, Mori. Now you are officially in the game. Tomoya Mori, of course, the main player for the Lions in terms of being the back catcher. He's 10 for 50 on the season. He's batting .200. But he's missed quite a bit of the season because he had a bit of an anger management issue. He either punched the wall or punched his helmet, broke a bone in his hand. There's a split finger pitch that is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So he is now back to action here the last couple of games. So not only did he hurt himself, he hurt his team as well. So Mr. Cap says now he's got to hammer another bat. Well, it looks like with one swing of the bat here, the Lions can get right back in this game. Problem is if Nishi can slam the door here, this could be a momentum killer. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-1 to Mori. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a good night for baseball in Osaka. Waiting on the 1-1 offering. And here is the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul. And that is going to run the count to 1-2. He absolutely turned on that pitch, did Mori. But he yanked it right into the soft screen that's protecting the fans down the right field line. For the listeners that are here, while we talk about stories from time to time, you may or may not be aware, but the baseball, the way it's played in Japan, and I was absolutely shocked to hear this, that 90% of the baseball played in Japan, amateur baseball this is, and there is a split finger pitch that's down, and it is swung on and missed by Mori, and he is retired for out number 3, so the Lions strand the bases loaded, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left aboard. We're now through 3.5. It is still 5-0 for the Hanshin Tigers. I'll come back and tell you about the rubber baseballs when we return. Glad you guys are with us. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this. I got to go check my coffee as well.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just getting ourselves back in the saddle, and we're ready to go for the bottom of the fourth inning. It's going to be the pitcher's spot, the 8th spot in the batting order, 8, 9, and 1. It'll be Nishi, Sakamoto, and Shimada to come up here to face the right-handed sidewinder Kaido Yoza. And the do have a change in the lineup as Tomoya Mori is in the game, as he is going to be behind the plate here for the Lions now moving forward. And we've got Nishi stepping up to the plate. I'll try to get myself in a good position here. Got ourselves our coffee all set, so that'll help us out for the next little bit as the catcher Mori has just thrown down the ball to second base, and we're ready to get this one back underway. I was starting to tell you that the amateur baseball in Japan is played using the rubber ball. And if you guys aren't aware of this, that's exactly what they use. They use a rubber ball, and the main purpose for it is they're concerned about the grip of the ball. And there's a fastball that's taken on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1, because a lot of baseball is played in the rain. It's a area of the world where there's a frequent amount of rain, and there's a fastball swung on and missed. Counts 0-2, and so they're pretty big on the safety issues. And there's another fastball that swung on and missed, and Nishi goes down on strikes for out number 1 here in the fourth inning. So 3 fastballs, 3 swings and misses. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Sashiro Sakamoto. So as I was saying about the rubber ball, it was the safety issue for one. The other issue is that for the grip of the ball, it's important to be able to grab onto the ball, make sure you get a good grip. And so that's what they use, is the rubber ball. They have these big tournaments, and they often refer to the Kenka ball or Kenko ball. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Sakamoto. And there is a fastball. This pitch is swung on, is belted down the line, and it is going to, if it stays fair, it's trouble. And that is just going to hook foul. Sakamoto just hooks it to the left of the foul pole. He sent it a ways, but just a little bit foul. It's going to run the count to 0-2. So the light-hitting Sakamoto put an absolute charge into that one. That one is just going to reach the seats just slightly foul, and it's going to be 0-2. So the rubber ball is the big thing in Japan. And they have these big tournaments, the rubber ball tournaments all over the place. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field, drifting over to his left, and making the catch is Ito. And that is going to retire Sakamoto for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the top of the order, Kairi Shimada. For Shimada today, he is 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles. He's been able to raise his average up significantly, as he is now batting on the season at 250. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Shimada. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1. It's kind of bizarre. Yoza, after he missed the pitch, he kind of does a 180, and Mori was ready to throw the ball back at him. There's a fastball that is swung on. It is popped up. It is over on the first base side, and it is just going to get into the camera well. As the first baseman, Yamakawa, had come over, he had reached in, but his arms just weren't long enough. That's going to run the count now to 1-2 to Shimada. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And there's a question there. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 2-2. So I'll first comment on Mr. Cap. So would the balls bounce farther off the bat since they are rubber? There's a fastball that swung on. This ball is belted into right center field. It's going to get down. Digging for 2 is the batter, Shimada, and he's going to get into second base with a double. Boy, oh boy, that was some aggressive running by Shimada. The outfielders out there, the right fielder who fielded the ball, Wakabayashi, kind of Cadillac it to the ball. And you got to tip your hat to Shimada. He was coming hard out of the box. That ball got down. I look at the right fielder, Wakabayashi, gets it, and then he just sort of flips it in, and Shimada never stopped 1 iota. He just cruised right into second base. And he's got himself a cheap double. Well, not cheap to him, but cheap to the Lions. That's the 3rd hit of the ball game for Shimada. But some lazy baseball out there. I'll be watching to see if Wakabayashi's still going to be in the ball game after this one. When he comes back up to bat or they come in, there's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nakano. Nakano tonight is 1 for 2. He singled, stole a base, and he's reached on a fielder's choice. So here comes the 1-strike pitch. And there is a fastball swung on, and this ball is lifted into shallow left field. Moving over toward the line is O'Grady. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it. We'll come back to answer those questions in just a couple moments about the rubber ball. But for the Hanshin Tigers in their half of the 4th inning, there was no runs, there was 1 hit, there were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 4 complete. It is still 5-0. The Hanshin Tigers will be back for the call at the top of the 5th in just a couple moments, everybody. Hang tight. Here is our friend Steve again.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Thanks again, Steve. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the top of the 5th. We're glad you're with us. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 5th inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order for the Seibu Seibu Lions. That means it's going to be Takezawa, Yosa, and then the top of the order, Wakabayashi. I'm curious to see if Wakabayashi is going to come out after that way that he Cadillac'd it to the ball in the last inning. I guess we'll wait and see what happens if they pinch hit for him. So 8, 9, and 1 coming to bat, or at least scheduled to come to bat. Here's the first pitch from Nishi. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count's 1-0. So the first question that we were talking about in the chat had to do with the rubber balls, and Mr. Cap said, wouldn't they bounce farther off the bats since they are rubber? There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 1-1. Well, one of the problems is that if you go to Japan, you're going to have to, if you want to play, don't take your wood bats with you at the amateur level. Make sure you're taking the aluminum bats. If you take the wood bats, the balls, those rubber balls, will break bats. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded on a couple of hops over to first. Oyama fields it. He makes the play, and that is going to retire Takezawa on a ground out to 3 for out number 1. That's scheduled to bring up the pitcher, Yosa. So using aluminum bats because the wood bats will break off of the rubber bats or rubber balls. The other thing is the rubber balls, they do have a lot of bounce in them. I've got a chance to see just an amateur game and people were playing. And it's kind of cool to see. They have an umpire, they got people out there playing. And anyways, what ends up happening is the balls were in those situations. We have a pinch hitter here, as that looks like it's going to be it for Yoza. He is done for the evening. We'll get you the specs on the pinch hitter here in a moment, as there is a split finger pitch that misses down. The count is 1-0. There's another fastball that misses down, and the count's now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. The hitter is this Seiji Kawagoe, who is batting right now for the Lions, and he swings at a pitch and fouls that one off. Not only does he foul it off, but he fouls it off himself. So he's going to take a moment to get some repairs. Welcome in. He's got a shin guard on the right leg, but his luck is he fouled it right off the part that was just above the shin guard. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Seiji Kawagoe. So he is back now in the batter's box, ready to go back to work. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Kawagoe. Just continuing the thought about the rubber balls. It was a fastball that misses upstairs. The count's now 2-1. The other piece is they do bounce a lot. So a ground ball to short. And if you don't hit the rubber ball properly, there is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. Moving back on the warning track is the right fielder Shimada, and he's going to make the catch. Kawagoe sent it a long way, but it is right to the glove of the right fielder, who is at the warning track. So that is 2 up and 2 away, and it's going to bring the top of the order, Wakabayashi, to the plate. As I said, I'm going to see who this is, if it is going to be still him. I know if I was running the ship, this guy would be sitting on the bench next to me. So Nishi at the plate, ready to go to work. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and this ball is lifted to right field, and it is Wakabayashi who is hitting, and he does have himself a single. So after 2 strikeouts and a butchered ball in right field, they keep him in the game, and he rewards his manager with a base hit single with 2 away. So the other part of hitting those rubber balls, if you don't square them up, they do spin weird. They won't travel very far, but if you square it up, the ball can be belted like any other baseball or any other type of ball. Our friend Shotgun Shell says he brought back an old memory. As a kid, we used to have Indian balls sometimes. Yeah, we used to get the Indian rubber balls. They used to have way more bounce than what those balls over in Japan have. So here is Shuta Tonosaki to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. He is grounded out and struck out. Takes the first pitch. Split finger pitch down in the dirt, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The Indian rubber balls used to have a whole type of bounce in them. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Tonosaki. We do thank you guys for being with us here tonight. As we've been mentioning before, we're going to be back at it again tomorrow night, same time and same place, and between the 2 teams, between the Tigers and the Lions, for the 3rd game of the set. So here comes the 2-0 offering from Nishi. And there is a split finger pitch that swung on and missed. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strikes to Tonosaki. So we'll be calling game number 3 in the set tomorrow. It's 1-0 in the series, as the Lions won last night 1-0. But right now it's been all Tigers thus far tonight. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tonosaki. Another healthy crowd in Osaka tonight for these 2 teams. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Nishi comes set at the chest. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that is down. Off goes the runner to second base. The throw is not in time. It was a good pitch to run on. As Wakibayashi has himself a stolen base. It's his first of the season. That's going to run the count to 3-2 to Tonosaki. It was a decent throw by the catcher, but he had such a running jump on the pitcher. Wasn't even close. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tonosaki. Nishi checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The first base side of home plate, and that keeps the count at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tonosaki waggles the bat. The right-hander Nishi holds at the chest, and he delivers a fastball. It is swung on and grounded to third. It is fielded neatly by Sato. He throws to first. And that is going to do it here for the Lions in their half of the 5th inning. On the ground out 5-3 by Tonosaki. There was no runs. There was 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 4.5 innings. It is the Hanshin Tigers 5. The Seibu Seibu Lions, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the 5th inning. Here is one of our Hall of Fame memories again. Back, everybody. We're going to be back in just a moment to call the bottom of the 5th inning. There is a pitching change for the Lions, and we'll get you that when we return. We're glad you guys are with us. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Let's go. Yo. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change. It is going to be a left-hander on the bump for the Seibu Seibu Lions. It is going to be Sasaki taking over on the hill. This is Takiro Sasaki. On the season, this is going to be the 11th game he's appeared in. He's got no record. He has pitched 9 innings. He's allowed 10 hits. He's walked 6. He's struck out 11. He has given up 4 runs, 3 of which have been earned, and he's got an ERA of 3.00. So he is going to be taking over here. Is Takiro Sasaki. He'll be the second pitcher up used tonight by the Seibu Seibu Lions, and he's going to be having to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Tigers batting order. It's going to be Chikamoto, Sato, and Oyama. So Takiro Sasaki now in the game. He is ready to work. Left-hander against the left-hander as Koji Chikamoto steps in. And here comes the first offering. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Chikamoto. Sasaki rocks into the windup, and he delivers a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sasaki gets the sign. He rocks into the motion. He delivers a fastball that misses inside. And the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Chikamoto. This game here is, you'd like to think, I'd like to think that's got some pace to it, but there's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's not quite had the pace that I anticipated tonight. We're almost a couple hours deep and there's still half a ball game to go. So here comes the 2-2 offering. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. It's fielded by Tonosaki. He throws it over to first, and that is going to retire Chikamoto on a ground out, 4-3. So he has a race for out number 1, and that is going to bring up Teruki Sato. Sato tonight singled his last time up, and he was able to knock in a run. So Sato is 1 for 2. He struck out his first time up. He's got his average up to 278 now on the season. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Sato stands in, ready for the offering from the lefty Sasaki, and there is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. It looked like he'd even taken a little bit of stuff off of that one. Actually, that may have been more of a split finger pitch as we look at the replay, the way he was gripping that ball. Here's the 1-1 offering. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 2-1. Sometimes the movement of the pitch, I can't always quite tell. It almost looks like it could be like a cutter sometimes from some guys, depending on how they grip it and throw it. Not grip it, but at least where they release it. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Sato. So in my opinion here, we got an action pitch ready to happen. Sato ready to tear it loose. Here comes the 3-1. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 3-2. Sato doubles over at the plate, and I have to admit that I'd be doubling over too. The catcher was set up middle in. The pitch was well off the plate, and the catcher had to turn his glove over. He got the call from the home plate umpire, and there's a breaking ball that misses inside. It goes all the way to the backstop. And Sato is going to get himself a base on balls here. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Yasuki Oyama, who has delivered the big blow tonight. So Oyama tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a home run and 3 RBIs. He's also struck out. Getting the feeling that every time we watch the Tigers, Oyama brings his A game. So here comes the right-handed hitting first baseman with a runner at first and only 1 out. Establishing his lead is Sato, and here comes the first offering to Oyama. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. We saw last week, Hanshin Tigers, we called one of their games. It was a fantastic catch by Oyama. He was playing left field. He slammed into the foul pole to make the grab. Then he stepped up in the next inning and hit a home run. There's a fastball that misses up in the way, and the count is now 2-0. It's amazing how sometimes those things happen. You make a great defensive play, and you follow it up with a great offensive play. One right after another. Those were turning points in the ballgame. So here comes the 2-0 offering to Oyama. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So there's 1 away. The runner at first is Sato. We're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're looking forward to taking a mini break to get that coffee going again. So here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Oyama. Sasaki gets the sign from his catcher, and he comes set at the belt. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. I was telling that story earlier about Maury Wills and how he went to the bullpen and called for a right-hander, but the problem was there was no right-hander up and throwing. It also reminds me sometimes, and there's a breaking ball that misses down. It's ball 4. And Oyama is aboard with a walk. Is back-to-back walks allowed by Sasaki. I was just starting to say that one of the things that you find, or at least I find interesting, is when major league teams make a boneheaded player decision. One of them would be is not putting somebody on the batting order or not putting somebody properly batting in the batting order, or you just left somebody right off the game sheet. I can tell you this, when you're over in Europe and you're filling out a lineup card, it's not just filling out a lineup card. Every player gets an international ID or an ID. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So it's not just putting together the lineup and the positions and the batting order and everything else, but you got to fill in this extra, like 8-digit number, whatever it was, 5-digit number. And it just added an extra whatever to the, and you had to get the numbers right too. That was the other part. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count's 1-1. So you got the position, you got the name of the player, and then you've got his identification number. All part of the lineup card. Crazy stuff. So here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-1. I'm not sure what the relevance of that is, but that's what they used to do, and that's what they demanded. You had to do it. You had no choice. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And here's the offering from Sasaki. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Itohara. Itohara, to me, looks like a double play candidate in this situation. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. It is popped up. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. Another funny story, playing our season opener against Neuenberg. And the plate umpire was an American guy, and he comes over, and for those of you who, obviously we have a bunch of Americans in our audience, or North Americans in our audience tonight. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 3-2 to Itohara. So in Europe, if you've not been to Europe, or if you have been to Europe, if you've listened to the radio when you're in Europe, they don't have the radio edits per se, because the songs that are played, the language that is used, or the foul language here that people would be offended by. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. And Itohara is retired on strikes for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it up to the left fielder, Yoshio Itoi. So what I was getting at with this is that when the game is going on, the pregame warm-ups, infield, outfield, all that stuff, what you would hear is you would have this, or what we would hear is you would have the, how could I say it? The music would be playing in the background, but it would be all the English language, and it would be all the swear words and the foul language that people here would probably be offended by, or might be offended by. And there's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. It's a great play by Tanasaki to field it backhand. He throws to first, and Itoi is snake bitten. He is retired for the third out of the inning. If that got through, it would have been another run for the Tigers. But that's going to go down as a 4-3 ground out for out number 3. So for the Tigers in their half of the inning, there was no runs, No hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 5 complete, and we're going to our Japanese halftime. Your score is the Hanshin Tigers 5-0 for the Seibu Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a couple minutes. I'll finish off my story when we get back. Hang tight. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher once again.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Reps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie and Last Reps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold. We have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Reps Baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 6th inning. We're just going to take a little mini break here, and then we'll come back and give you the out-of-town scoreboard. We're glad you guys could be with us. Welcome back, everybody. It looks like it's an all-Pacific League night except for this game, as the Central League Tigers are beating up on the Lions tonight. But let's look at that out-of-town scoreboard. It is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. They have a 6-1 lead over the Amuri Giants. 6-7-0 for the Hawks, 1-3-0 for the Giants. That's in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Chibalote Marines, with 1 in the top of the 6th, have taken the lead over the Yakult Swallows. It's 4-3. 4-5-0 for the Marines. 3-6-1 for the Swallows. Oryx Buffaloes, in the bottom of the 6th inning, have a 4-1 lead over the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars. 4-6-0 for Oryx. 1-3-0 for Yokohama. The Honku Rakuten Golden Eagles are flapping their wings. They have a 2-0 lead over the Chinichi Dragons. 2-6-1 for Tohoku. 0-3-0 for Chinichi. In the top of the 6th inning, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters have a 3-0 lead over the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. 3-8-0 for the Fighters, 0-4-1 for the Carp. And the game you are listening to here, the Hanshin Tigers, with a 4-run uprising in the 3rd inning, have a 5-0 lead over the Seibu Lions. 5-8-0 for the Tigers, 0-4-0 for the Lions. That is where we stand here. We'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody, with the call of the 6th inning. As we said, it is our version of Japanese halftime, and because it's an all-dirt infield, they're giving it some grooming. As we'll come back for the back end of the play here in just a couple moments. Here is our friend Matt. Once again, another Hollis build. Go check out his channel after the game.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. And if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the batting order coming up for the Seibu Lions. It means it's Ito, Hataka Yamakawa, and Ninting Wu. It is already 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ito as he has just fouled off the 1-1 pitch to make it 1-2. And here's the offering from Junya Nishi, and that pitch is fouled away, and the count is still at 1-2. Ito has 2 of the 4 hits tonight for the Lions. He's 2 for 2. It was probably a good thing by the manager to move him up into the 3 spot as he was languishing down in the bottom part of the order. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. When I took a look at the lineup today, I said, is he crazy? He's only hitting .234, but something to keep in mind, one thing that the Japanese managers still do is they watch how the players take batting practice, and the lineups in North America, you'll see the lineups will be issued 3, sometimes 4 hours before the ball game. There's a fastball swung on, and that ball is lifted into the seats over on the first base side. The Japanese managers don't put their lineups out until they see their team's batting practice. And so they are really, really late. Sometimes within 45 minutes to an hour is when they will actually go public what the batting order is. So if you get a guy who's really swinging it in BP, that's how they'll make their decisions. And that's kind of an old school approach. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Ito. But not that it's wrong. I mean, if you go out and you're watching batting practice, you got somebody who's just absolutely putting on a laser show across the field. Why not give that guy the opportunity to take that into the game with him? There's a fastball that swung on. This is going to get into the soft screen down the right field line. It's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hayakawa, the big fella, is waiting his turn on deck. So Nishi rocks into the motion and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on, and this is grounded fair down the left field line. It's going to get into the corner. It's going to be trouble. And digging for 2 is Ito, and he's going to scamper in there safely. So Ito continues his hot swinging tonight. He's got himself a leadoff double here in the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Hataka Yamakawa. As we get the replay of that one, that ball was absolutely scorched. And it looks like it went right over the bag at third base. As we get the replay of it, and that's exactly what it looks like to us. Sato can't believe that it's a fair ball. And I actually question the effort a little bit on that for Sato. I know it's tough. It was right down the line, but 1 step and a dive. Maybe he knocks it down, keeps him to a single. I don't know. So here comes the first offering to Yamakawa. It's a breaking ball delivered as swung on, is lifted into deep left center field. Has room is Chikamoto. He makes the catch and he throws it into third base. That is going to hold the runner at second, but that is 1 pitch and 1 away. Unproductive at bat for Yamakawa. He is out for out number 1. So after that, basically that 8-9 pitch at bat, the Ito had the batter before. And now Hayakawa, it's a ball to left field, but can't advance the runner. So that's going to bring up Ninting Wu. For Wu tonight, he is 1 for 2. He takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Wu. Wu is waiting on the offer from Junya Nishi. There's runner at second. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-0. That is the 100th pitch of the ball game for the right-hander Nishi. We are here in the 6th inning, and so one of the questions that came earlier was, who do you think's got the better bullpen? I haven't seen enough of the Tigers bullpen this year to make an evaluation on it. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Counts 3-0, but I would think that the Tigers definitely want to get 6 innings out of Junya Nishi tonight. So here comes the 3-0 pitch. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4, and so Wu is aboard with a walk that's going to put runners at first and second. And that is going to bring up Brian O'Grady. So this is the second time O'Grady's come up with runners on in position. We have a left-hander heating up in the bullpen for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. We're going to see what they're going to, for the Fukuoka, for the Hanshin Tigers. A Fukuoka flashback. I'm still looking at the scores from around the NPB. And the Hawks are still leading, although the Giants have got one back in the bottom of the, or they got one back in the bottom of the 6th. As we said, it's a Pacific League night tonight. But except in this game, where this is the only game that is being controlled by the Central League. So here we go back to the action. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to O'Grady. Well, you can tell when guys are seeing the ball well or when they can't, and Brian O'Grady right now looks like he's having a hard time getting the ball up at the plate. So here comes the 0-1 offering. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. It's going to get down. It's not going to get up the alley. It's cut off by the center fielder, Chikamoto. He fires it in, but they're going to get themselves a couple of runs in here. And the call to the bullpen is probably going to come quicker sooner than later. So Grady's got himself a couple of RBIs. And that may be it for Inishi as Yano is out of the dugout. So for those of you who took the over, you guys can start fist pumping now. Junya Nishi is on the bump there, tip of the cap. So I'm just not sure if they're going to go make the change or not. Where the Tigers pitchers come, they come from under the stands. So you don't always get the luxury to see them heating up in the pen. Sometimes some of the camera work, you were able to see some of the other stuff, but this is going to be it for Nishi. That's something else you don't see sometimes is pitcher will stay right on the mound with the pitching coach. Pitching coach will actually come out and make the change, but the manager will go and report it to the umpire. He gets his pats on the back, and that is going to be it for Nishi, as now he's going to leave the mound. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll get you the change when that returns. We've got a couple of runs in on the board here. And we'll come back and give you all the updates in just a couple minutes. Here's our friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers, and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We got Yuta Watanabe now in the ball game. The former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk is making his 18th appearance for the Tigers this year. He's got a record of 1-1. He has worked 10 1/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits, 3 walks. He has struck out 11, an ERA of 1.74. He is coming in to face Tomoya Mori, and who much after that, we're not sure. But the left-hander is in the ball game with runners right now at first and third with 1 away. So Yuta Watanabe into the ball game. So here we go back to the live action. And here's the first pitch to Mori. It is a fastball waved at and missed. The count is 0-1. Mori entered the game in the 4th inning. And he was pinch hitting for his fellow catcher, Koga. And he struck out with the bases loaded to end the 4th. So here comes the 0-1 offering. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The lights are definitely in full effect now in Osaka. Lefty Watanabe gets the sign from his catcher and he comes set at the chest. And now he delivers. It is a fastball that misses down and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. We got Joe in the house. He's coming in to wish us a happy Wednesday. We appreciate it, Joe. Here comes the 2-1 offering. There's a fastball that misses inside the Mori. The count is now 3-1. And the Lions have moved one of their big fellas on deck. They looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for the light-hitting shortstop Takizawa. So runners on the corners. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to Mori. He's waiting on the offering from Watanabe. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and that is ball 4. It's going to load the bases. So the bases are full of Lions. This is the 2nd time tonight. Bases loaded and 1 away. Scheduled to come to bat is Takizawa, but that is not going to happen. Coming off the bench is one of the other bookend big fellas that the Seibu Lions have. And that is going to bring the manager out of the Tiger bullpen. We got changes all over the place. As it is going to be, or at least it's announced, that Takeya Nakamura is coming to bat. But with that being said, the lefty is going to get pulled. Unlike Major League Baseball, there's no 3-batter minimum here in the NPB. Watanabe is finished, and we'll be back in just a moment after this from our friend Steve.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you, a clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Raps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. and I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Ren Kajia coming back into the ball game. He was a pitcher in last night's affair. And if you guys are ready for some slow baseball, you are about to get it. Kajia last night was taking upwards of 20 to 25 seconds between pitches. It was absolutely mind-blowing how the game was coming to a halt. Well, I don't expect anything different tonight. That's how he goes about his business. When we can expect when the game is going on, it's going to be slowed right down. So we'll see how long they're going to roll with him. Is he a one batter or is he a one inning kind of guy? Are they going to remove him out? There's quite a ways to go here. So as he completes his warm-up tosses, we're ready to get this one back underway. It is a pinch hitter coming up. It is going to be Takeya Nakamura. The big fella gets himself dug in at the plate. With one swing of the bat, we could have ourselves a tie ball game. He's batting 189 on the season. He's got 4 homers and 12 RBIs. So Nakamura digs himself in and he's ready to go. And here's the first offering from Kajia. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Not sure how many more turning points in the game there could be for the Lions. They had the stranded the bases loaded in the 4th inning. They have them loaded up here again. However, the difference is they've got at least 1 run on the board. There's only 1 away, and here comes the offering to Nakamura. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 6th hole and to left field. 1 run is in. They're going to hold the other runner at third. So Nin Ting Wu has crossed the plate. He gives the Lions the 2nd run of the ball game. O'Grady is held up at third. You've got Mori in at second. And Nakamura has done his job, and he's got himself a base hit. And that is going to keep the bases loaded, or creates the bases loaded. That is scheduled to bring up the pitcher spot, so we're going to see who they're going to be bringing up to bat here. So it is supposed to be the pitcher spot, and we assume that that is going to be the end of the day for the pitcher Sasaki. Let's see what the Lions have decided here. And here comes the pinch hitter. This is going to be number 1 into the ball game. And this is Kuriyama, who played in last night's affair. So here comes the first offering to Kuriyama. And there is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right center field. Going back, it's going to be off the wall. Chikamoto plays it. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And here's the throw to the plate, but it's going to be, gets away from the cutoff man. It's going to clear the bases. A bases clearing double for Kawagawa. Welcome to the ball game, young man. And he's got himself 3 RBIs. And that is going to bring us to the top of the order, Gekudo Wakabayashi. So a good piece of hitting there by Kawagawa. Or sorry, check that by Kuriyama. The ball was absolutely scorched. So we got ourselves a brand new ball game as the score now is all knotted up at 5. As we're getting the highlights of Kuriyama turning on that pitch. I'm not sure why it is. I got 4 runs on the, or I've got 5 runs on the board here. We're going to have to take a look to see where the other one has been held up. They've got 4 on the board. It's actually runners on second and third. I got 1 extra run in here. It shouldn't be in quite yet. There's the fastball delivered. That misses down and away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Wakabayashi. So if you guys have taken the under, I'm sorry for that. If you guys have taken the over, you got your 6 runs. And absolutely you do. And you got more of it. You got a lot of insurance here. So here comes the 1-0 pitch to Wakabayashi. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into the seats over on the first base side. The count is 1-1. Wakabayashi is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and a couple of strikeouts. He's also stolen a base. And Troy says definitely we got that 6 runs, no doubt about it. And it's still early in this game. There could be a pile more being scored. Better put that coffee pot on for another round. I'll be getting to bed till 5:30 in the morning. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 1-2 on Wakabayashi. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said last night, this pitcher here, it is a complete rain delay. You could call a pitch, and then the next thing you know is you're sitting here for a good solid half a minute until he's ready to do something else. So here's the 1-2 offering. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. That is going to retire Wakabayashi on strikes, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Shuta Tonosaki. For Tonosaki, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He is the only batter in the Lions lineup that hasn't come to the plate this inning, and that's going to change right now. So as we said, this right-hander here, he just takes his sweet time. There is no rush for anything. And so Tonosaki steps to the plate. He is 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Tonosaki. Shotgun Shell says it's going to be Lions 14 to win 31. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Well, I can tell you this ball game here is far from over now with a 5-4 lead. And Tigers have not been great at holding their leads this year. Although they did do a good job last night in that 1-0 ball game. So we're back to a 1-run game now with 5-4 for Hanshin. So here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a split finger pitch that misses down in the dirt. The count is now 1-2. Sorry for the pauses on the in-between. I sometimes mute the buttons so you guys aren't getting a yawn in your ear or a little bit of a cough. So 2 balls and 1 strike, and as we wait, and do we ever wait? He holds at the belt, and here's the offering. It is a fastball that comes inside and almost hits Tonosaki, but that backs him off the plate. The count goes now to 3 balls and 1 strike. So 3-1 it is. And again, we're going to wait, and he goes off. I can't believe how slow this pace is. It's got to be just so painful for the Tigers defense. He reaches down to his rosin bag. Then he comes up. Then he checks the signs, and he shakes about 2 or 3 times in that he's got the sign. And here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that misses down and away. And the count now, is that not ball 4, or have we got something else going on here? So all we're seeing is a look at the Tiger bullpen. They had 3-1 up on the. It looks like it is going to be ball 4. We got to keep our wits about us here because they're showing it was the ball 4. That's going to bring up the 10th hitter in the inning. This is going to bring up Ito. Ito is 3 for 3. He got things going with a leadoff double here in the top of the 6th inning. He's also got 2 singles today. So they go through the sequence of signs. Not that that was easy. Now here comes the first offering, and it is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's trouble right up against the wall, and the catch is made by the right fielder. A beautiful catch by Shimada right up against the wall. And that is going to keep the scoreline at 5-4. But that is going to do it, as Ito had sent it a long way, but he has retired for out number 3 finally here in the 7th inning. The Lions send 10 hitters to the plate in the inning. They score 4 runs. They got themselves 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. There was no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. Second time tonight, the bases loaded have been left loaded. We are now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 5-4 ball game. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. After this, we'll get you all the updates as best we can.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Appreciate you, Matt. We'll be back in just a moment with the call. The bottom of the 6th inning, hang tight, 5-4 for the Tigers. Lots of baseball left in this one. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone. It is scheduled to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming to bat for the Tigers in their half of the 6th inning. We have to get a look to see where exactly Junya Nishi is going to be into the ball game. It is Nishi's spot in the batting order, and then it'll be Sakamoto and Shimada. So we're going to see what is the adjustment or who the pinch hitter will be here. Also checking to see if we have a pitching change for the Lions. And we absolutely do. It's going to be Honda in the ball game. So Honda is on for the Lions. He is taking over here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is going to be the 3rd pitcher used by the Lions tonight. So Honda is in. And he is going to be set to face pinch hitter here, number 9. We'll have to get you who that is in just a moment. It looks like it is Takayama. And the first pitch to him is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Shun Takayama in to pinch hit. And here's the 0-1 offering. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So Honda has come in and done nothing but throw strikes. And here comes the 0-2 offering. And he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. So for Shun Takayama, he is in his 6th season with the Hanshin Tigers. Originally a first-round pick in the 2015 draft by the Tigers. There was a split-figure pitch that swung on and missed. They have to go to first base with it, and that is going to go down as a K 2-3. That is going to retire the pinch hitter, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. For Sakamoto tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has flown to left. He's flown to center. He is batting in the 9 spot. We were saying earlier that must be insulting if the pitcher is batting ahead of you in the lineup. You're an everyday player. So here comes the first pitch to Sakamoto. It's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul down the right field line. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Sakamoto waiting on the offering from the right-hander, and here comes the pitch. That's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's trouble. But that ball is just going to slice foul. That's twice that Sakamoto, he's gone line to line in his last 2 at-bats. He hook barreled the ball just slightly foul down the left field line, and this one he just sliced it just foul down the right field line. So now he's got 2 strikes on him here. With 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And here comes the 0-2 offering. It's a fastball right down the middle, taken for a called 3rd strike. Sakamoto is gone for out number 2, and that is going to bring up the top of the order, Kairi Shimada. For Shimada tonight, he has been on base every single time he's come to the plate. He is 3 for 3. He's got 2 singles and a hustle double. And he squares the bunt, and he bunts it foul just over on the third base side. And the count is quickly 0-1, but it was a good idea and a right idea by the Hanshin right fielder to try to manufacture something here. They're playing him deep. He's got Nakamura out there now. Why not challenge the arm and his defense? So here comes the 0-1 offering. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2 to Shimada. So no balls and 2 strikes. The Tiger crowd is clapping their heroes on here. Here comes the 0-2 offering. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shimada. He chokes up off the end of the bat. He's waiting on the 1-2 pitch from Sasaki. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. Check that. It's Honda that's on the mound. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Honda ready to go back to work. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's tapped slowly over to short. It's fielded. They throw to first, and that is going to retire Shimada for the third out of the inning. It goes down as a ground out 6-3 for out number 3. So for the Tigers in their half of the sixth, they go quietly. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through 6. It is a 5-4 ball game for the Hanshin Tigers. It's not quite 7th inning stretch time, but we're going to do our own personal one. Hang tight, everybody. Here is our friend Steve again.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to the top of the 7th inning. It is a 5-4 ball game for the Hanshin Tigers over the Seibu Lions. And there are changes galore, and it is one of those things when you're playing in a Central League park. It is starting to become a coloring book, and we do have a pitching change for the Tigers. It looks like it is Alcantara coming in relief. We'll get you that officially here in just a moment, but that looks like who we have now entering the ball game. It is number 44, and this is Raul Alcantara, the former KT Wiz pitcher in the Korean League. He also was with the Oakland Athletics organization. This is going to be his 18th appearance of the year. He's 1-1. He has worked 16 innings. He's allowed 13 hits, 4 walks. He struck out 11. He's given up 8 runs. 7 have been earned, and he's got an ERA of 3.94 entering the fray tonight. So Alcantara takes over, and he is going to be facing Hotaka Yamakawa, Ninting Wu, and Brian O'Grady, the heart of the Lions batting order, here in the 7th inning. So for Yamakawa, he's batting .333 on the season. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's also drawn himself a walk. So Alcantara ready to go to work here against the big fella, and here comes the first offering. It is a fastball that comes in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yamakawa. This is a power-on-power matchup. That last pitch was in at 95 miles an hour. There is a fastball that swung on and popped foul behind home plate. As that last one registered at just shy of 94. The count is now 0-2. So I'm curious to see if Alcantara's got any type of off-speed stuff that he can throw and he can rely on. So here's the 0-2 offering to Yamakawa. And here's the pitch from Alcantara. It is a fastball swung on and it's grounded right through the 4-hole into right field. That is going to be a single for Yamakawa. He basically took what they gave him. They had the second baseman shading toward up the middle. It says probably as much as a shift as you're going to see toward NPB players, but it was definitely on here. And he was able to respond with a base hit through the 4-hole with that second baseman way over, almost toward the bag. So with the leadoff hitter Yamakawa aboard, that is going to bring up the third baseman Ninting Wu. For Wu tonight, he is 1 for 2. He has also walked and scored a run. So here comes the first pitch from Alcantara. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. The Tigers sure don't need is somebody to come into the ball game and bring their gasoline cans with them, soak them out, and light it on fire. Well, he lead off a single to Yamakawa does not fit the plans of the Tigers right now. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Last pitch was at 94 miles an hour, and the count is now 1 ball, 1 strike. So Alcantara ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher. He's holding set at the chest. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2 to Wu. Kind of buckled the knees of Wu. Not sure if he expected that or not, or at least the location of that pitch. He was looking for something else, that's for sure. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now is to Wu. And here's the offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. They really need to put up a 0 here to the Tigers on the Lions. Gives the only 2 more at-bats left for the Lions to try to get that run back. So here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. All I kept thinking about tonight is hopefully this game won't go extra innings. Now it's a little too close for comfort. All the Lions have to do is get 1 run. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. And here's the offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly up the middle. Over to second for 1. Back to first. It's not going to be in time. It's going to be a 1-4-3 double play. But they do want to have a look at this, does the Hanshin manager. Assuming that is going to take place. It's 1-4-6 on the putout, I should say. So that'll be the first out of the inning. So we're going to go fielder's choice 1-4-6. The question mark is did they get the trail side runner? We're going to get the replay here in just a moment. Be able to give you our thoughts. Not that we're always perfect. Sometimes we don't always see the way the umpires see it. They are going to review this, and they do have a conference on the mound right now while we are waiting. So just getting the replay of this, it was a ground ball just past the pitcher. That was probably the right decision by Alcantara. He could have fielded the ball, but he let that ball get by him. As we're looking at the replay, oh boy, that's going to be a close one. And I think they're going to beat that one out. I think he's going to be safe. That's the angle that we have here. So we're going to wait to see if this is going to get overturned or not. And as I see it on the replay, I'm still convinced. I think that Wu has beaten that out. But now we're going to get our best angle, maybe. Yep, and he is safe. So it is a fielder's choice. Wu is aboard. Yamakawa was raced at second. It was going to go down as a 1-4-6 putout. And that is going to bring Brian O'Grady to the dish. O'Grady is 1 for 3 today. He singled, knocked in a run, and scored a run his last time up. But he's also struck out and popped to first. So O'Grady now looking to play part of the hero. If he can keep this going here. Because Tomoya Mori is waiting in the on-deck circle. So 2 left-handed batters to face the right-handed throwing Raul Alcantara. So Alcantara comes set at the belt. And here's the first offering to O'Grady. It's a fastball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And here's the offering. It is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to O'Grady. Rojas is working from the stretch as the runner. Wu gets his lead at first base. He comes set at the belt. And here's the offering. It's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1 to Brian O'Grady. And wouldn't you know it, looks like we're down on our signal here right now. Oh, now we're back up pretty quick. We were going to have ourselves a bit of a problem, but we definitely have it here. So 2 balls and 1 strike to O'Grady. Alcantara holds at the belt, and now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and that's lifted foul over the third base dugout. And the count is 2-2. So the one thing I've noticed is both of the pitchers, even Alcantara, very slow and methodical to the point of, as I say, putting me to sleep, but putting the defense to sleep. And there is a fastball that is delivered. It is swung on and missed. It is not caught by the catcher, but with first base occupied, O'Grady is down on strikes, and he is out number 2 here in the 7th inning. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. Was swung on and missed. The catcher actually just dropped the ball to Sakamoto, but because first base is occupied with 2 strikes, he is unable to advance. So this is going to bring up Tomoya Mori. Mori tonight entered the ball game in the 4th inning as a pinch hitter. He's officially 0 for 1. He struck out. He's walked in, scored a run. And the first pitch he swings at, and he fouls that off right behind home plate. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Tomoya Mori. As we say, there's just so much time in between pitches for Alcantara and for the previous pitcher for the Tigers. Absolutely ridiculous. They have been using shot or pitch clocks in the minor leagues. Both of these guys in North America would be failing right now. And there's a fastball that misses down, and the count's 1-1. If you exceed the pitch count, they add a ball to the count. I was in Everett a week ago and saw the Aqua Sox play the Hillsborough Hops. A couple of times there were pitches added to the count, and they weren't strikes, that's for sure. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted to deep center field. Camping out underneath it is Koji Chikamoto. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it here. The Seibu Lions get a runner on base, a leadoff one nonetheless, and then they're not able to cash in. As the one thing with the Lions, you don't see a lot of sacrifice bunting with this team. We're no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 8th inning. We're moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. Is the Hanshin Tigers 5, Saitama Seibu Lions 4. Our friend Shotgun Shell is asking for the cheerleaders. If you could only see what we see right now, good times. I can say it that way. I'll be back in just a minute, everybody. Hang tight.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We have yet another, looks like another pitcher in for the Seibu Lions. It's going to be Takumu Nakano as he is taking over. So Takumu Nakano in relief of Honda. And coming up to bat here, it's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Tigers batting order. That means it's going to be Takumu Nakano, Koji Chikamoto, and Teruaki Sato. And here comes the first offering. There's a fastball that is fouled away. It's actually still Honda on the mound. They're still going to roll with him for yet another inning. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakano. It's a rough night at the office here. I feel bad for you guys having to listen to me tonight. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. You know, the one thing I do notice is, I'll say this, is that when you're fresh, you can call the games. This has been a challenge. And it's a mental challenge. Just a mental and a physical challenge. And when you think about it, there's a fastball that misses up and away. I always tell our players or the kids that we work with, the better physically fit you are, the more mentally fit you are. The more mentally fit you are, the better you can concentrate. I think right now my physical fitness is a little bit on the downside as there's a fastball upstairs that counts 2-2. It also affects the mental ability as well. I use that as an example because I remember a number of years ago refereeing high school basketball, and I used to be able to get up and down the court pretty good. And anyways, I eventually said the problem is that when you're doing stuff and there's a fastball that swung on and fouled away and the count is now still at 2-2, when you're doing the basketball games or you're doing that sort of stuff, the physical fitness, everybody's pretty fresh in that first quarter of the first game. But if you're doing a doubleheader, it's the third and fourth quarter of the second game that you have to be sharp. If you're not sharp, you lose your focus. There's a fastball again that swung on, and a good piece of hitting there by Nakano, who fouls it away, and the count remains at 2-2. That's how I feel here sometimes in doing these games, especially the late night ones. About an hour to go or so, and then it's time for some sleep. But this game here was almost over last night at this time. We're going to be a ways away yet. As a fastball swung on, it is popped up in the infield. Moving over underneath it is the second baseman, Tanasaki. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Nakano for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up Koji Chikamoto. So as you can maintain your focus, if you keep your focus, how do you do that? Well, get in better shape. So Chikamoto steps to the plate. He is hitting .267 on the season. Tonight, he has got himself a hit, an RBI, and a stolen base, and he scored a run. He's 1 for 3. And so here comes the first offering. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Koji Chikamoto. And here comes the offering. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-2. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back on it and making the grab is the left fielder O'Grady, and that is going to be 2 away here in the 7th inning. And that is going to bring up Teruki Sato. For Sato tonight, he is officially 1 for 2. He's got a single, an RBI. He's scored a run. He's also got a walk. And we've got Parcel in the house, and he says he needs the Lions to score a run. Well, something's got to give here. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Sato. Sato batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Honda. You definitely got 6 more outs to go before this one is over, so the Lions have got to catch something. They've definitely shot themselves in the foot with the stranding base runners on. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. Twice they've left the bases loaded. All they needed was 1 hit in those situations, and they probably have the lead right now. So no balls and 2 strikes to Sato. There's 2 away here in the 7th inning. It's a 5-4 Tiger lead. Honda gets the sign from his catcher, Mori. And he comes set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-2. So definitely these two teams, they lead in pitchers being very, very slow out of their bullpen. Holy geez. The Hanshin Tigers, I'm curious to see what they're going to roll out next inning. Can't be any slower than what we just witnessed. So here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lefted into left center field. Moving over underneath it is O'Grady. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it for the Tigers in their half of the 7th inning. So for Hanshin, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 7 complete. It is the Hanshin Tigers 5, the Seibu Seibu Lions 4. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 8th inning, and we've got to update our ticker a little bit here for you. We've taken a couple of little breaks on the in-between. It is a 5-4 lead as we move to the top of the 8th. There is going to be a pitching change yet again for the Hanshin Tigers. Hopefully they bring in somebody who's working a little bit quicker than the last 2 fellows that we had. This is going to be another right-hander. This is number 65, and it is going to be Atsuki Yuasa. So Atsuki Yuasa is coming in. It's going to be his 22nd appearance of the season. He is 0-1. He has pitched in 20 innings. He's allowed 13 hits. He's allowed 7 walks. He struck out 21. Only allowed 2 runs, and both have been earned. He's got a 0.90 earned run average. So Atsuki Yuasa, the right-hander, is coming into the ballgame. He is completing his warm-up tosses. He is scheduled to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Lions batting order. And at this point in time, it is looking like a full-on coloring book But we are going to be able to do what we can here for you in just a moment. So Atsuki Yuasa in. He's completed his warm-up tosses. It's supposed to be Takeya Nakamura. And then we have the pitcher's spot. And then it is Wakabayashi. So we'll see what we have here in just a moment. For Takeya Nakamura, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning. He came in to replace Takezawa, the shortstop. So he is batting here to lead off the top of the 8th inning. And the first pitch is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Nakamura. Nakamura, the big fella, is one of the bookends that they have. The other one is Yamakawa. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. We appreciate everybody coming in for the early morning baseball. This game here is probably, if I had to guess, going to finish last. There's a fastball that misses inside, and Yuasa is not happy. He's so unhappy that he takes his hat off. Doesn't say anything, but you could tell just of his body language, he wanted that pitch. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Takeya Nakamura. There's a fastball that swung on. This ball has popped up over on the first base side. Moving over underneath it is the first baseman, Oyama. He's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Nakamura for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that is going to bring up the pitcher's spot in the order. But I don't think we're going to see the pitcher hitting here anytime soon. We'll start knocking off some of those finals for you around the league, too. There are going to be some final scores that we're keeping an eye on here, and we'll share them with you as they come up. So this is number 52 coming on the bat for the Lions, and the first pitch is a fastball that spikes to the ground, and it gets all the way to the backstop. And it is ball 1. This is Haruka Yamada. Must be something with the pitcher, too. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't the reaction, not getting that call. Just Yuasa takes his hat off very frequently. Not sure why that is or what habit he is getting into doing that. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Haruka Yamada. And there is a fastball that misses again, and again Yuasa takes his hat off. And it's now 3 balls and no strikes. So here comes the 3-0 pitch to Yamada. It's a fastball that cuts the plate in half, and that's going to run the count now to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Yamada. It's Yuasa versus Yamada, and here comes the 3-1. It's a fastball that misses, and it is going to be ball 4. And again, taking his hat off after almost every pitch is ball 4, and that is going to bring up the top of the order. It'll bring up Kikuto Wakabayashi. I don't know, but those mannerisms on the mound for Yuasa would drive me absolutely batty. So that brings up Kikuto Wakabayashi. He is 1 for 4 today. He has singled, he stole a base, and he's also struck out 3 times. On the season, he is now 3 for 8. As this is his second game of the regular season. So here we go back to the action. Yuasa holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Wakabayashi can motor a little bit. He is going to be a tough guy to double up in a potential double play situation. Wakabayashi last season stole 20 bases in the NPB. So he's got some wheels. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now is 1-1. This drives me insane. And Yuasa, not only does he take his hat off, but then he does a few hops on the other side of the rubber. And I don't know if he's a combination of Mark Fidrich, former longtime Detroit Tiger pitcher back in the 70s, or Trevor Bauer, but he's a bit flaky. The only thing that he's missing is not left-handed, because those guys are usually the biggest flakes. Yuasa tosses it over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Yamada. So here we go. We got 1 ball and 1 strike to Wakabayashi, and here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and just pop foul behind home plate. It's going to run the count to 1-2. Last pitch was a fastball. It was of the split finger variety. It was a splitty that didn't split. It just sort of hung there. And I would think that the hitter Wakabayashi would want that pitch back. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here's the 1-2 offering from Wakabayashi. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. And Wakabayashi's got himself a single. And so that's going to put runners at first and second with 1 out. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Shuta Tonosaki. For Tonosaki tonight, he is 0 for 3. He's also drawn a walk. This is the most important at bat. One would think of the evening right here and now. Waiting on deck is the center fielder Ito, who's had a great night tonight at the plate. So Tonosaki. And they do have a visit from the pitching coach. We got Jimmy Redbeard in the house. He says, great to hear you. We appreciate you popping in tonight, Jimmy, or this morning, I should say. We are in the top of the 8th inning, and it is a game that just doesn't seem to want to end. The relief pitchers for the Hanshin Tigers are human rain delays. Alcantara, even Yuasa to some degree here. The pitcher before Kajia, all 3 of these guys are really, really slow workers. I don't know if it's maybe a strategy that they can get a few extra sales in the concession stands. So this here, we do have a pinch hitter at the plate. There's a first pitch that is delivered. It is a breaking ball that misses down. This is number 68. And so this is Junichiro Kishi. He is hitting here for Tonosaki. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kishi. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count goes even to 1-1. So Junichiro Kishi is currently at the plate as a pinch hitter for Shuta Tonosaki. Kishi on the season is hitting 200. He's got a couple of homers and 7 RBIs. But he may be a better option than the second baseman. There's a fastball swung on, and this is popped into shallow right center field. Coming in hard on it is the right fielder, and that is going to be caught by Shimada, and that is going to retire Kishi for out number 2. And that is going to leave it up to the center fielder, Ito. For Ito, he is the hottest hitter in the Lions lineup tonight. He's got 2 singles, a double. He scored a run, and he flew out to right field. So 3 for 4 tonight for Ito. So Yuasa gets a baseball. He goes off the back of the mound. He rubs it up. This is what's taking us forever here. So here comes Ito to the plate. Right-hander against the right-hander, and here's the first pitch to Ito. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike right down the middle. So no balls and 1 strike to Ito. Wonder if those would have been his instructions. Take till you get a strike here. I'm not sure that I would have maybe subscribed to that in this situation. Find something that you can hit and hit it hard. Here comes the 1 strike pitch. There's the fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-2. Well, it definitely drives me crazy watching Yuasa. He gets a new baseball. He walks off the back of his rubber. He takes his hat off. He fixes his flow, puts the hat back on every single time. So no balls and 2 strikes. And asking for time is the batter, Ito. And now the pitcher has tied his shoes and he's ready to go again. Well, you think he's ready to go again, and then Yuasa walks off the mound, goes back to the rosin bag, picks it up, starts rubbing it up. As I said the other day when we were putting it on to the pitcher who came in relief today, on Kajia, he was taking upwards of 25 seconds between pitches. Well, we're not that far off here with Yuasa, who throws a fastball that misses outside, and off again comes the hat. And he puts it back on, and he fixes it down. So it drives me absolutely insane. Not as a hitter or as a player, but as a manager, being his manager. Let's cut the sideshows and let's get on with the action. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. And here comes the 1-2 offering. It's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. And they're going to have to throw down to first to be able to get Ito, and that is going to do it. It's going to be a strikeout 2-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. But they threaten, but they don't score. They got no runs in the inning. They had 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the Seibu Seibu Lions trailing the Hanshin Tigers 5-4. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a moment. Glad you're with us. Should have put on yet 1 more coffee, but not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it is supposed to be Yusuke Oyama, Kento Itohara, and Yoshio Itoi. That would mean it is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the Hanshin batting order. We're getting a report to see who is coming on to pitch for the Seibu Seibu Lions, as Honda's day is done. They are going to make a pitching change. We're going to get the information for you here in just a couple moments. But while we're waiting for this, we're going to take another break here. We'll be back in 30 seconds, guys. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Tetsu Miyagawa on in relief. He is going to be the fourth pitcher used tonight by the Saitama Seibu Lions. So Tetsu Miyagawa on in relief. And he is going to be facing the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. It's going to be Yusuke Oyama, Kento Itohara, and Yoshiro Itoi here in the 8th inning for the Tigers. So here comes the first offering to right-handed hitter Oyama. First pitch is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. For the pitcher Miyagawa, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. This is his 17th appearance of the season. He's got no wins or losses. He's worked 17 innings. He's allowed 12 hits. He's walked 8, and he has struck out 17. An ERA of 2.12, and there's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and strike, two balls and 1 strike to Oyama. Oyama's had himself another ball game tonight as he's 3-run homer was the capstone of that 4-run inning in the 3rd inning. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Oyama. Oyama waggles the bat. He's waiting on the offering here from Miyagawa. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. And I think Oyama knows he missed that pitch. As he does a little hop in the batter's box and turns around, he's probably a little disappointed. So here comes the 3-2 offering. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Oyama stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1. And he is retired, and it's going to bring up Kento Itohara. For Itohara tonight, he is officially 1 for 3. He has a single. He has struck out looking and swinging. So this will be his 4th trip to the plate. So batting from the left side, waiting on the first offering from the right-hander Miyagawa, and it is a split-figure pitch that is swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop. Who fires it to first, and that is going to retire the batter runner Itohara on a ground out 6-3 for out number 2. And that is going to leave it up to Yoshio Itoi. So with all the changes, I haven't quite got all around my defensive stuff. As for most of the evening, that was the shortstop Takizawa making plays. And so here comes the first offering. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and we do have a pinch hitter here. So Itoi, his night is done. His night might have been done a little bit earlier on because he's not been swinging the bat very well in the first 2 games of this series. He might get a chance to sit down. So here comes the next pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down. The count's now 2-0. So not 100% sure who the hitter is here. We're going to have another look at it here. This is Dan Onodera. Onodera got the start last night. There is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. There is a pitch delivered to Onodera, and that is going to be swung on and missed. And he is going to be retired for out number 3 here. And that is going to do it for the Tigers in their half of the 8th. And so that is mercifully putting this one to an end. We've got, we're going to the top of the 9th inning. We've got Troy here. He says it's a long game. They've come back. It's a close one now. It sure is. We got one more half inning to go, or maybe we go more, or maybe we go extra innings. I'm trying to stay in here for you guys. We'll be back in just a minute. Try to pull it together for the 9th inning. The game is definitely going a little longer than we wanted. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
We'll be back in just a minute, everybody. That was our friend Matt Hollis. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 9th inning. It's going to be Yamakawa, Wu, and O'Grady. And it is, our friend Troy says that it looks like they need a pitch clock in the NPB. For the most part, it's pretty good. Maybe it's just only in Osaka for the Tigers. The last 3 pitchers have been absolutely ridiculous in the amount of time that they take to deliver the pitch. Not only are they putting me to sleep, they're putting probably everybody in the stands and the defense. I wonder the Tigers are where they are right now this year. This is the 3rd time we've seen them, and we'll see them again tomorrow night. We definitely hope we don't see those relievers. It is one absolute screeching halt train ride when we see that stuff. So we do have a reliever in the game. It is a left-hander that is coming in. And here comes the first offering. It is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So we'll get you the specs here in a second. They are always a little bit slow on what we're getting. This is Iwasaki in the ball game. He delivers a fastball that misses inside. The count's now 2-0 to Yamakawa. For Yamakawa tonight, he is officially 1 for 3. He's got a single, he's got a walk, and he has struck out and flown out. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So Seguro Iwasaki in the game to try to close this out for the Tigers. 8 saves on the season this year. He's 1-2. He has worked in, this is his 20th ball game, and he misses a breaking ball down. The count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Yamakawa. And there's nothing worse than a leadoff walk or potentially a leadoff walk. So here's the 3-1 pitch. That ball is lined to the third baseman, Sato. That ball was absolutely scorched, but right to the glove of the third baseman. And Yamakawa is gone for out number 1 here in the 9th inning, and that's going to bring up Nin Ting Wu. Wu has had himself a very good game tonight at the plate. He is officially 2 for 3, a walk and a run scored. So he is going to get his opportunity to face the left-hander, Iwasaki. So here comes the first offering. It is a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. when I look at Iwasaki, I don't think of him as a classic closer by any stretch. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, but he's definitely getting the job done. Not particularly overpowering. Our friend Troy says, hopefully Scooball can win for the Tigers today. Yeah, if the Tigers in Detroit can get a win, they'll be 20-30. So here comes the 0-2 offering. There's a fastball. Take it for a called third strike. Wu stood there like the house by the side of the road. Watched it go by for out number 2. That is going to leave it all up to Brian O'Grady. For O'Grady tonight, he is 1 for 4. He singled, scored a run, and driven in a run. And O'Grady is ready to step in here to face the left-hander. And so Iwasaki ready to get going, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball, take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Well, I got to say, after starting Yamakawa 3 balls and 1 strike, he's just come right after these Lions hitters. Lots of production, lots of strikes. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's going to reach the seats behind the third base dugout. And so now the Lions are down to their final strike. Tigers are looking to even the series here at 1 game apiece with the Lions. Just as a quick reminder, after this game is done, we'll go through the out-of-town scoreboard with you, and then we'll call it a night. So here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down. The count is 1-2. So the Tigers are definitely looking for a win here, not just the Hanshin Tigers, but also the Detroit Tigers, as our friend Troy has pointed out. So here comes the 1-2 offering. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this is going to reach the seats, it looks like, over by the third base dugout. It's going to keep the count at 1-2. No problem, Troy. We appreciate you having you in here. I have to admit, it is a struggle today for sure to call this one, especially the way the game slowed down there with the bullpens. On top of it, too, it's now 5:30 in the morning on the West Coast. So we got to be able to find a way to keep ourselves awake. The coffee really runs out there in about the 6th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it as O'Grady goes down on strikes for out number 3. So for the Lions in their half of the 9th inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your final score, the Saitama Seibu Lions lose to the Hanshin Tigers 5-4. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll wrap it up for this evening with y'all. Hang tight, everybody.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Once again, that's Steve Rademacher. Be sure to stop by his channel and let him know that Last Raps Baseball sent you. It's a 24-hour channel. It never goes to sleep. And so here's the quick wrap-up from around the NPB. All the other games tonight are either done or just about done. The only other game that is just slightly behind us is the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters and Hiroshima Carp. So we'll get to them last. By the time we're done this, it could be over. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks knocked off the Amuri Giants 6-3 today. It was 6-7-0 for the Hawks, 3-7-0 for the Giants. Nagashiyama picks up the win. He goes to 5-1 for Fukuoka. Akiyoshi takes the loss. He's 2-3. Fuji gets the save. It's his first home runs in the game. Adam Walker hits his 10th. Yoshikawa hits his second, and Masuda hits his second, all for Yamuri. The Chiba Lotte Marines knocked off the Tokyo Yakult Swallows 4-3. It was 4-5-0 for the Marines, 3-9-1 for the Swallows. The win goes to Mima. He is 2-4. The loss is to Hara. He's 4-3, and Masuda gets his 11th save. Home runs for Chiba were Shogo Nakamura hit his third. Yasuda hit 2. That gives him his first and second of the year. For the Yakult Swallows, Tetsuda Yamada hit his 11th. Hamada hit his 4th. And Jose Ozuna hit his 5th. The Oryx Buffaloes knocked off the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars 5-1. 5-10-1 for Oryx. Bay Stars 1-3-0. It was Jacob Waguspach got his first win in the NPB. He's 1-3. Romero takes the loss. He goes to 3-5. And Sugimoto gets the save. It's his 4th of the year. Check that. Sugimoto hits his home run, which is his 4th of the year. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles knocked off the Chinichi Dragons 2-0. It was 2-6-1 for the Eagles, 0-6-0 for the Chinichi Dragons. Game also finished just a little bit before ours. Hiroshima gets the win for the Golden Eagles. He's 2-0. The save goes to Yuki Matsui. It's his 14th. Wada took the loss. He is 0-2. The game that is just finished up after ours, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters knocked off the Hiroshima Taiyo Carp 5-1. It was 5-11-2 for the Fighters, 1-7-2 for the Carp. And the win in the ball game is going to go, it looks like, to Uehara. The loss is going to go to Endo. And that is your final score. Well, in this one here, we'll wrap it up quickly here for you. The Hanshin Tigers scored 5 runs early. They got 1 in the first inning. A leadoff single by Shimada. And a single by Nakano put runners at the corners. And then Koji Chikamoto grounded into a 6-3 ground out. And that ended up knocking in the first run of the ball game. In the third inning, the Tigers scored 4 times. A leadoff single by Shimada. He was eventually erased on a fielder's choice as Nakano reached base. And Koji Chikamoto singled. He eventually stole second. Then Sato singled. He knocked in a run. And then the big blow was Yusuke Oyama hit a 3-run shot to put the Tigers up 5-0. Well, they had to hold on a little bit as the Lions had opportunities. Lions stranded twice the bases loaded in the ball game, but they were able to cash runs in the 6th inning. The inning got going on a leadoff double by Ito, and with 1 out, Nin Ting Wu walked. And then Brian O'Grady singled, knocking in a run. And then Tomoya Mori walked. And then Takeya Nakamura singled. And then it was a 3 RBI double by Kuriyama that was able to knock in 3 runs. And that was where all the scoring ended for the Lions. And your final score was 5-4 for the Hanshin Tigers. Well, everybody, once again, we appreciate everyone for popping in here. Whether it be Steve, Troy, whether it be Vivid Life, Shotgun Shell, our friend Mr. Cap, everybody else who popped into the stream, we really appreciate you guys being here and supporting us. Once again, everybody, it's been another Last Drops Baseball video production. We hope you all have a great day. Come on back and see us again tomorrow. We're going to do the same 2 teams for Game 3 of the series. Have a great night, everybody.